visibility basically than the cameras before it.
Agreed? You're talking about observing more distant galaxies.
Saying the further up,
yeah. So the deeper you look, the farther you look, the more distant you look. The more redder it is, right? The more the wavelength shifts towards, you know, So just because it looks redder, why are you saying that the universe is expanding or space is stretching? Maybe it just looks redder. Maybe the wavelengths just, you know, have a tendency to look more red as you get deeper.
Echo. Kronic.
Where's the definitive evidence that the universe is expanding?
Absorption lines.
Jesus. Because we have markers in the frequency spectrum that we see shifting towards the longer wavelength. It's not just that things are changing their color, their tint. The wavelengths that were blue are now red.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Why is the sky blue?
Because of scattering.
Not for the same reason.
Really, why
Kronic should answer this.
Because of scattering.
The sky is blue because the matter in the sky absorbs every color except for blue, right?
No.
Really?
The atmosphere does not absorb any light, any visible light. It's transparent to visible light.
The atmosphere isn't absorbing the matter in the sky isn't absorbing the other colors and scattering or like reflecting the blue so as to make the sky look blue.
It's better if Kronic answers this.
You suggested
Bizarre, you've got an echo.
No, it's the same thing.
There's an echo.
One of them is wrong. One of them is wrong, and the other one is right.
He's not echoing.
I'm not incorrect. Everything that you see that the color that is the color it is in fact reflecting that color and absorbing every other color. So when you see a red rose, it's absorbing every other color and reflecting red, and that's why it looks red. In fact, it's actually every other color except for red.
Sky doesn't work like that percentage. The sky does not work.
Yes, it does. The sky has matter in it. That's why the sky is blue, because it's absorbing the other colors.
How many more times do I need to tell you it? That's not how the sky works.
How does the sky work?
Because all the other wavelengths are lower frequency and are less scattered. So the resultant color that is scattered the most and therefore can be seen at the widest dispersion angles from the origin, i.e. the sun, is the higher frequencies, which are blue.
So you're saying that all matter absorbs light except for
the
atmosphere?
Why you would even bother to
hold up. So the matter like a rose or a tree or whatever absorbs...
Replace what was answered with your own crap.
Listen.
Why don't you just stick to your own crap?
No, listen, bro. So the tree, a tree that's brown, like has a brown trunk, right? It's absorbing the light and reflecting the browner wavelengths, right?
And the sky doesn't
This is not a conversation.
I know. So you're saying that the sky, the atmosphere, does not absorb light. For some reason, the matter of the sky is different than the matter of
Kronic's
other things.
Points here.
Is that true, Bizarre?
Percentage.
They're not allowed to answer.
Well, you just hijacked what you were saying. You're not saying you can't talk, but goodness sakes. Kronic is the one sending satellites into space now, isn't he?
You see, Chemo's running this channel.
No, I'm just saying, be aware of your fellow man. Kronic is on your team.
I'd be happy to answer it, but Chemo's getting all arsy about it.
Chemo, we can let the conversation evolve, man. You do this all the time.
It is evolving.
Yeah, so let it continue to evolve instead of trying to hold it.
Well, he's kind of saving you, really, but okay, fine.
Brass tacks, how come when we're looking in the sky at these more distant galaxies, how do we know that they're not just absorbing other colors more than they are red and scattering red, just like the sky scatters blue?
Dr. Virus posted 2 images. Explains it.
Because there are markers in the spectra, which are called absorption lines and emission lines of matter, that we know have shifted in frequency. We know that these markers started off at the same frequency, the same color that we would see them if they were in our vicinity, but they have been translated downwards in the spectrum, greater in wavelength, lower in frequency, because they are traveling away from us at significant speeds.
You don't know that last part. that they're
Yes,
because they're
we
traveling
do.
away at specific speeds. All you know is that the more distant you look, the more like redder kind of things the sky is, because the shorter wavelengths, the bluer wavelengths, are being absorbed. The absorption spectra is changing a little bit. You don't know why.
No, that's not true. We know that the blue light, with its marker patterns in it, with its emission and absorption patterns in it, are now no longer in that blue, what we perceive.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you see red, because red isn't
they are
being
moved
absorbed.
down from blue to red, or even further, or even, ultraviolet even, down to the red. We know that those actual frequencies have been shifted.
Exactly. That's why we see it as red. But you haven't reconciled. Hold up. You haven't reconciled the non sequitur to say that because we see it as red, it's because the universe is expanding.
It's the only reason that they can be shifted is that the distance between them and us observing it, the wavelength has had a greater distance to travel over the time period. Therefore, as it goes from its minimum value of the wave to the maximum,
where do you get that baseline, Bizarre?
That takes longer than it would if it wasn't moving.
And what if it was simply because the atmosphere, wherever it is, like wherever we're looking, that it absorbs more of that specific light, that the matter there absorbs more of that specific light?
Because you're completely ignoring what I'm telling you. There are markers in the spectra.
I'm not ignoring that. That's why it looks red.
There are markers of known frequency which have shifted down the color spectrum.
All that means is that those wavelengths are being absorbed. Right? And I'm saying, what if that's happening because the matter is absorbing them at those wavelengths?
If they were being absorbed, we wouldn't see them anywhere. We see them on a different part of the spectrum because they have been shifted.
Yeah, they've been shifted so that the lower wavelengths are now being absorbed.
The lower wavelengths are now even lower. They've moved into the radio frequencies.
Obviously, that's why it looks red. That's why it's called redshift. We're not arguing. We're not disagreeing that redshift is a thing. I'm with you that it looks redder. All right.
Well,
the wavelengths that are blue are being absorbed, and the red ones are being scattered or reflected, or what
are you talking about?
You are disagreeing because you're trying to ignore the word shift. There is a real.
This just means that the wavelength the spectrum is shifting to the one side.
Understood shift in frequency. It is a real shift in frequency. It's not through absorption. It's not through the admission. We do know that.
You don't know that shift is redshifting simply because of distance of the galaxy.
Are you talking about micro frequencies?
You need to educate yourself because you don't understand what is being talked about. You don't know how it works.
So
don't know how it works. Those lines, this pattern will never appear in red.
Which
red will have a different pattern, and they are all shifted. You get it?
Which will never appear in red?
Which frequencies we are talking about?
Don,
absorption lines.
Don, they're trying to educate percentage here. Don't beg us to educate. Everything bizarre is and Chike are saying it's completely logical and makes perfect sense.
Except for the non-sequitur, where they automatically assume that just because it's red, it means that it's farther and it's moving away.
We have to know which frequency we are talking about so we can discuss it. Are we talking about?
Don't you believe as soon as I get the things that I like, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I get it, right? Don't I act
you
like
have
that?
to know. You have to know what we are talking about if you have to.
So I don't get it though. What baseline are you comparing it shifted from?
You have to know if it's a micro or it's a.
The markers that Bizarre and Chike and people are referring to in these links. There's multiple links here. Are known absorption and emission features.
And no one's arguing that. It's a red herring. We agree on the absorption spectrum. We agree on how the wavelengths would be absorbed differently in redshift and blueshift. There's no disagreement there.
And microbeats. But they are using it in the same manner.
Shifting downward along those spectra.
It's the radars.
What you're saying is that they are being absorbed. That's incorrect.
What? I didn't hear. I was talking. What did you say?
God. We put Johnny on mute.
I didn't hear what I said because I was talking. But anyways, I was saying there is a different kind of frequencies, of course.
Yes, we know Johnny. We know Johnny.
Yeah, it's completely possible that
we have to
anyways,
know
for whatever reason, that the atmosphere, like beside our Earth, absorbs the wavelengths that aren't, blue. More, and then as you get away from the Earth, it absorbs wavelengths that, are less blue.
Sure, percentage. Really dumb statement to make, but I'll follow up on it. What about, so with that explanation, how do you explain measurements of redshifted galaxies from something like the Hubble Space Telescope?
What do you mean?
It's not looking through the vast majority of our atmosphere. So how can you explain with your attempted explanation?
I'm not saying our atmosphere. I'm saying
weird science
close
is
to
happening.
Earth. So you could say
there's no.
Close to
you
Earth.
Said our atmosphere
our
is like
solar
12
system.
times.
But as you go out of it, you could say that there's a slight change where the matter, it absorbs less blue things and reflects more red.
Nothing in the space scope in this game.
Until we have something outside of our galaxy or something, you can't really say it's not. We might be in a blue pocket,
But
you're proposing a space atmosphere.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
We always have matter. There's no perfect vacuum. So maybe our matter just reflects blue a little bit more. And as you go out, as you look farther, you're seeing matter that reflects a little bit more red.
Oh man.
Exactly. So that's the point. The point is we don't have any definitive evidence to say that this stuff is moving farther. We're assuming that because we see red, it means that the shit is traveling far away. When really it's just an assumption.
The assumption that you're currently making is that the change in spectra is from absorption, when spectroscopy is a very well-known thing. You should probably look into.
Spectroscopy is showing the absorption spectra. What's wrong with you?
And it's showing that it's showing the specific. Oh my God! Don't even.
I'm saying that
you said this. It's showing you the specific. Shut up! It's showing you the specific change from where hydrogen, helium, so on and so forth are moving down the spectra toward red. It's not showing absorption at all.
In a controlled,
absorption because it's
closed.
Of course, it's showing absorption. That's what absorption spectrum is,
by anything.
Bro.
Yeah, percentage is right. What a shocker.
Percentage. I'm curious about.
That's
percentage.
not correct at all.
Yes, he says an absorption spectrum, which is of course about the absorption.
I was just about to say where's
spectra of the particular elements in question, like hydrogen and helium, are moving downward toward red. These are
it's not
verified
happening.
patterns.
The air's not spinning in a vacuum. That's dumb.
Whoa. Before we go there, hold on, Witsit. Again, we've got another expert professional here. This is Kronic. Kronic meet Austin. Austin meet Kronic. Now, Kronic is telling us Witsit.
I don't know who Witsit is. Let me ask Percentage one more question.
Okay.
Percentage. Okay. I'm curious what you would hypothesize on the spot, because it'll be off the top of your head hypothesis, just theorizing some random explanation. So like observations of the the radial velocity of a single star, a specific star, just a single star. We can observe its spectrum and we see the radial velocity signature. We see these markers in its spectrum shifting in real time. Red and blue. I asked Mr. Percentage for his, on the top theory.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they're red and blue when?
What? Over time, you make multiple observations of the spectrum of a single star, like, close to the sun or something. However far away. And
so over what kind of time? Over seconds, it goes red and blue. Over hours, over like decades, what?
Hours and days. Over hours and days, it's spectrum is red shifting and blue shifting.
Okay, and is it only on one side of the star?
What do you mean? We're observing it. We're observing it from.
Are you seeing the left side blue, and then the next day the right side is blue, and then it alternates, or is it always consistent where the left side is blue, and then the right side is like red?
What your question is? It doesn't even make sense.
Are you just saying?
What I'm saying is, if the star is moving farther, then the farther end of the star should always be the more redshifted one, right? It shouldn't alternate. But it sounds like you're saying they alternate.
Your question. Okay, maybe I need to clarify. Okay, You're observing the spectrum of a single star over the course of a week. Okay.
Yeah, but are we observing all aspects of the star? Like both, like let's say, you know, the closer
the star is
the bottom. You know,
okay.
What medium is the star in? What medium is it in?
Percentage. The star.
I can't listen to it anymore. What medium is the star in, though?
What the fuck?
Well, would your perception of illumination be relative to the medium? Yes or no?
Who is even
he doesn't know what medium it is.
Percentage. Okay, for your purposes.
This is Austin.
Okay.
Austin meet Kronic. Kronic. This is Austin.
Cool. Percentage for the purposes. The star is a point source. You're looking at it. You're measuring it with a telescope, a spectrum, a spectrometer on a telescope. You have a point source. It takes up pixels on a detector. You're measuring the spectrum of the star. Okay.
Yeah, we only have 1 point that we're looking at on the
over
star.
A week. You're looking at you're integrating. You're looking at the sum of the surface of the star across the pixels.
So it's one sum of the.
Is it 1 pixel that we're looking at or more?
You have to understand point source observation. Okay, it's a star that falls on multiple pixels, sure, but it's a point source. We're not resolving the surface of the star.
What medium is it in?
Jesus. It's just the light that we're looking at.
So
but the point is we're seeing more than 1 pixel.
No,
imagine thinking that the perception of illumination doesn't matter what the medium is.
Imagine interrupting a conversation that you're not even in.
Because I just dismantled your entire postulation because you're assuming the medium.
I'm just begging to hear it off the dome, since you're so good at improv percentage. I just want to hear a theory you might have for this. So
yeah,
it's a single star. It's a single star. You're observing it for a week. You measure its spectrum 2 times a day, 10 times a day, however often you want, and you're seeing its spectrum, the markers in its spectrum, the absorption features. You're seeing them shift blue, shift red, back to blue, back to red, back to blue, over the course of a week. What is happening? What do you think you're seeing?
I'm with you, but when you say point source, do you mean we see? Are you saying we see the entirety of the star?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay,
yes.
So we have multiple pixels for the entirety of the star.
Sure. Yep.
All right. And now on the left, side of the star, the left pixels, are they alternating? Are they alternating blue and red with the right side, or top and bottom?
You're basically not understanding the fact.
Why is this guy interrupting?
No,
why are you interrupting?
The idea is if the star is moving away, if the star is moving away due to universal expansion. Bizarre. Chill for a second.
Entirety spread over a number of pixels.
Bizarre. Already a conversation was happening. Bizarre. Come on. There's no order if you just keep on doing it.
Bizarre is trying,
because I think his point is relevant. So
he's trying to clarify. I'm pessimistic that it'll clarify for percentage.
Let me clarify what I mean, and then you can tell me if it's correct or not. All right.
All right. You go after percent. Bizarre.
We have the full star. Is it all red, all blue? Alternating, or is it partly red, partly blue? The top is red, top is blue, and they alternate, or side to side, or whatever.
Go ahead, Bizarre. Go ahead.
That's a question for you, Kronic.
But Gem, what Bizarre is going to say the same exact clarification.
Yeah, but you're the expert in this, Kronic. This is the point.
Is every pixel the same color at any given time?
Bizarre also had a point to make, and I think it would probably cover this. So just let him answer.
Only for Kronic to answer afterwards.
If it's not sufficient, Kronic can have a go. Go ahead, Bizarre.
What we see of any star, virtually any star, I want to qualify that, not all stars, but virtually any star, is a single signal from a point source. The telescope has a filter function to that starlight which spreads it out over a number of pixels. This is not a feature of the star itself. This is a product of the instrument, the telescope. It's called the point spread function. And all telescopes do this. So although ideally we would like to see that unresolvable star keep to 1 pixel, physics doesn't allow that to happen, and we see it spread over a number of pixels. That does not imply we are seeing the disk of the star in any way whatsoever. The top extent of the pixels that are illuminated by the star are not the top of the star. The left-hand side of the star do not in any way infer that these are the characteristics of the left-hand side of the star. Do you understand?
According to our perspective,
it
would be
that. Percentage. This is a single signal that is made to be spread over the pixels via the telescope itself.
I'll just add. Let me
That's
add
not
one.
what he said. He said we see the entire star.
Let me add one sentence percentage.
Point source of the star.
Oh, what's the point? You adding one sentence when you were asked the question in the first place, and you let other people answer for you.
Then it goes nicely back to him, then, doesn't it?
Okay, but what everything Bizarre said was perfectly fine. You can also to further clarify, let me just say that if the star takes up multiple pixels on the detector, the light that's falling on each of those pixels represents the sum of all the photons across the entire star. All the photons across the entire star, the left, the right, everything. It's the combination of all of those photons on the pixels. You could simplify it to be even more simple. Just say that
you're already oversimplifying it, man. Hurry up.
Well, I mean, I'm talking to a flat earther out
You mean
there.
Glover? You said a Freudian slip. Go ahead.
Cool. So to simplify it even more, we could say all of the light from that single star just falls on one pixel. One pixel, you can say, to be as simple as you want. Okay.
Okay, so if the universe is expanding, right, we would expect that this star would constantly be getting farther, right? And by your guys' logic, that means it should continuously be getting more red. The absorption spectrum would keep on going towards blue, and the star, hold up, the star color should continuously be getting more red. So why is it alternating if there's universal expansion and it's keeping on redshifting?
Yeah, perfect question that an elementary school kid would ask. So this star is nearby to us. It's gravitationally bound to the Milky Way, the same galaxy that we are inside of. So you can't apply such a universal expansion to a single star that's that close to us. Okay.
So you should throw your little star out then.
Not changing.
What gravitationally?
Say anything to anything in our night sky, or say that about anything in our night sky?
Of course not.
So what isn't being held by gravity in our night sky?
A star that's very nearby to us is in our galaxy, gravitationally bound, is orbiting the center of the galaxy.
Okay, but you didn't say that the star that we're talking about is very nearby.
I did. Go watch the. I did at the very beginning. Go watch the.
We observe a star.
How close is that? How close is that?
It being a closer star versus a farther star.
Go watch. I'm asking
how close
you.
Is close?
But percentage.
Relatively, but
percentage. I said a nearby star. The point, you're getting way off of the point.
Okay, so hold up. So farther stars, do we see them only getting red then? They don't alternate?
Farther stars where? In our galaxy? Are they gravitationally bound?
In our night sky. The stars that are farther than the nearby ones.
There's some stars that are in other galaxies.
No, we're talking about the stars that we can observe, bro. That means that they'd probably have to be in our galaxy, right?
Not at all. We can see stars in a bunch of different galaxies.
I'm not saying that there are stars that constantly get more and more red.
What?
You're saying that there are stars that are far enough where they're redshifting constantly, and every day we look at them, they're getting more and more red. In terms of
it depends on when you're doing redshift measurements. You're typically not always, but you typically are measuring the redshift of an entire galaxy, not just a star. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, I'm asking about a star.
Yeah, exactly. I'm asking you I'm asking you about a local star.
And I'm asking you about a distant star. If we had a point source of a distant star,
but can you at least try to answer?
Constantly getting more and more red.
Can you try to answer what the medium is?
Okay, all right. So I'll
already ended this conversation.
For your question, just so we can try to get nearly back on topic. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, now to this local star.
All right.
Where you're measuring. Yeah, you're measuring the radial velocity. The star is bounded gravitationally to our galaxy. It's local. It's nearby, relatively nearby. And we're measuring over the course of a week, we're measuring a constant shift, red shifting and blue shifting of this star. What is happening?
Okay, so if it's locked, as you said, because of gravity, it's not moving at all. Number one, if it wasn't for the medium, we could expect that we shouldn't have any shifting, right? It should remain the solid, like bluish color it is because it's not moving farther, or whatever color it is. There shouldn't be any blue shift or red shift. It should remain at whatever absorption spectrum it is. Correct?
Sure.
All right. So that means that we see this reverberation, or this change in the absorption spectrum from red to blue, and alternating, probably because of the medium that the light is going through, right?
Okay. Is there anything to back that up?
That's just how light works. So you have
probably
like
because the
the study
medium
of
we're going
light. Spectroscopy is the study of light within a controlled, closed climate or environment.
So again,
And so you're making characteristics about it, but you're acting like the absorption rate or the relative relationship of the light and the medium aren't variables that you should account for. That's lunacy. You want to skate past it, presupposing that's nothingness. So how about you stake your claim? Stake your claim. You think that the light. Okay, if you think of spectroscopy in an open to ever expanding infinite system, then you need to explain exactly what the behavior of the light is relative to its medium. What medium is it encompassed in?
Of course.
Is the expert and you're not, Kronic.
Oh yeah, of course.
I didn't say you didn't study the pseudoscience, man. I empathize with those people more than anything.
Percentage. So how do we test your theory that the medium is responsible for the shit?
Well, I mean, it's not really my claim that I'm making, right?
Oh,
but if we're talking hypothetical, you would have to have a perfect vacuum, like a medium where there was no refraction that would be causing this.
Okay,
that's a weird way to shift the burden of proof. You are actually
you're making a positive claim.
You're going to interrupt me. Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, if you're invoking spectroscopy, you're making a claim. He's right.
Specifically is you'd have to demonstrate how any medium anywhere can cause redshift or blue shift.
What?
Okay, so are you saying that redshift and blue shift are only possible when looking through a telescope, which is obviously and admittedly a effect of the mechanism of the telescope, right?
You're not saying the telescope is the reason for redshift and blue shift.
But it only happens in a telescope, right?
No, that was actually really dumb for you to say.
Does it only happen in a telescope? Yes or no?
Wavelength doesn't change depending on the medium?
Or what you're viewing it through, like the telescope?
Yep, wavelength does not change
you're getting this
that the light propagates through.
That's not true, actually.
Yeah, and what you perceive it through
is air moving into water. The light, the light moving from air into water. The light will slow, and the wavelength will change.
Right.
The wavelength will change in the water and then come back out the same wavelength that went in at.
Truth be told, waves actually aren't things. They're a type of
shorter wavelength is more blue, so you would expect like a blue shift in water.
Waves don't have links. They're not a
when
thing.
It comes out, and then when it comes out of the and when it comes out of the water, it comes out at the same wavelength that went in.
Exactly. The point is more dense mediums have more bluer things. So if the light is refracting through this more dense air, it'll have this blue effect, and then if it's less dense, it'll be red, and it can alternate like that, like Kronic was asking for. That's an ad hoc explanation. I'm not saying that's what it is, but there you go.
So what you haven't demonstrated
is not definitive, just because of that explanation that I just fucking made up.
So what you haven't demonstrated is that a medium causing a redshift or a blue shift.
It's not my claim. Shifting of the burden of proof fallacy.
You did actually say that some medium.
No, nice try.
What you said was that there could be some medium in between here. Hold on. You said there could be a medium in between here and there that can cause the light to redshift or blue shift.
First off, we definitely know that there's a medium between here and there.
You have no. You have no. You have no example. Oh my God!
Densities.
I'm going to finish what I said. What I'm saying. I am going to finish it. You have no examples where a medium can do that.
Yes, we do.
You've never shown
us. Provide a single medium that can do that, and have the result. Then have the result.
How do you think spectroscopy works?
And
bro?
then have
it works on this redshift, blue shift type of thing.
Oh my God! I'm going to finish what I'm saying, and then have the result of the wavelength before the medium and after the medium be different.
Again. This is shifting the burden of proof fallacy because I'm not making the claim. Number two, the medium does affect the light. That's what refraction and diffraction is. And number three, for you to say that there is no medium is absolutely asinine.
I have a light that has the spectrum line where we expect them to be. What do we do to shift them?
So,
go ahead.
Chike's asking you percentage. We have a light where we with a known spectrum and absorption features in a laboratory. What should we do? What's the experiment we should do to the atmosphere in the laboratory to make those absorption features, those features shift left and blue and red? What should we do?
Introduce a denser medium.
What if that doesn't answer it?
I'll let the light move through water and they'll shift, you say?
Yeah, let the light move through the water, it'll slow down, and the wavelength will shorten.
And then what happens when it comes out the other side?
Then it'll speed up again. It'll the light will be the same speed as it was in air, and it'll return to its usual thing.
Yeah, so it didn't change, did it?
So when you're observing it through the water, it'll be blue shifted, and then when you're observing it through the air, it'll be exactly how it was. It won't be red or blue shift.
Just because you don't understand how light propagates through different mediums,
you can
propose some cocktail story like
ad hoc.
It is completely ad hoc.
Hey,
the thing is, different media, different propagation.
Blah, blah, blah. You're talking about the medium, but you have to presuppose the characteristics of the medium.
The color does not change. If you were to put a camera in that water that you're suggesting,
the color would change if you checked.
It does not change. You can show it doesn't. It does not change.
It would. Yes.
You could do it. You could put a camera underwater.
So dumb. You're so blatantly wrong.
And the color will be the same all the way through the journey from the air to the water and back out to the air again. At any time that you use
incorrect. Not if you're checking absorption spectra, because the wave travels as a wave, right? The wave front is perpendicular to the direction of motion.
Does
you have
not
a sensor
change
there.
when it goes into the sea.
Whoa, one at a time, man.
The wavelength of sunlight does not change when it goes into the sea.
No, what he's saying is the frequency hasn't changed. That's the whole point, is that the frequency cannot change.
That's in the direction of motion. You can see, if it's in the water, that it'll have blue shifted.
Not. You cannot show that.
You could, if you had that set up.
You cannot show that. You will not be able to show that.
Are you denying that the wavelength changes depending on medium?
Of that. You can certainly
let him clarify
any demonstrations of what you have just said, because it doesn't happen.
Bizarre, are you denying that the wavelength of light changes depending on the medium?
That does not mean the color changes.
The wavelength changing does not mean the color changes? Are you retarded?
The wavelength is dependent on the media. That does not change the frequency.
That's what he's
saying. The frequency does not change.
I didn't say frequency. Don't try to change it to frequency.
Yes, because wavelength, speed, and frequency are all connected to each other.
He's trying to I don't know if he's trying to shuck and jive or something.
Yeah, that's what they always do.
The wavelength definitely changes depending on the medium.
Right, and what doesn't change is the frequency.
Because you don't understand the propagation of electromagnetic spectra through me. You don't. You really don't, because you wouldn't say
you have to actually put yourself in the shoes of the psychological position of these
clearly
people,
doesn't.
They're always in a shuck and jive, dismiss effort. That's just the psychological state of their argument. So you have to kind of take that in, spectroscopy assumes the characteristics of the medium, absorption rates relative to the medium. You need to note the medium. It's all about the medium. You're making claims about the media, but you're not actually addressing the fact you have to actually know what the medium is, which you do not. And we know for a fact that whenever we shoot a laser through water, it's not the same as when we shoot it through air, or whenever we shoot it through vacuum, it's not the same. It's relative to the medium. If you do not address the fact that it is 100%, as is the wavelength, quote unquote, which is a stupid term because waves don't have lengths, they're movements, they're not things, they're a type of movement in a medium, comes back to the medium. You have to know the characteristics of the medium.
So all of that is a distraction away from
that was one sentence. Holy moly. That was
one
so
sentence. All of that was a distraction away from the point that you can't demonstrate that it should look bluer while you're in water. It's not something you can demonstrate.
I mean, he is telling the truth, percentage. He is telling the truth. When you move a camera from outside a water tank to inside the water, everything just doesn't magically get bluer. So I want to ask the question just one last time. I know I asked it 6 times already, and you didn't give an answer.
We don't have that type of fluid on the Earth. It's a different type of fluid. Once again, it requires you to strawman and presuppose characteristics of the medium. I wonder why Austin jumped in and interrupted the conversation with medium 20 minutes ago. I can't imagine.
Percentage, let me get you one more. Let's one last try. All right, so I'm curious what you think the physical mechanism is for this observation with let's say a space telescope that's above the atmosphere. What is the physical mechanism that's causing the red shifting and the blue shifting to happen over time? Shifting red, shifting blue over your observations. It's not just a constant, it's been shifted red and it sticks there. It's moving over time. So something physical is happening. I'm curious what you think the explanation for that what's physically happening.
A space telescope that's above the majority of the atmosphere, above like the most dense of the atmosphere.
It's making radial velocity measurements.
But close enough. Yeah. Hold up, but it's observing this close star, not a farther star.
Sure, yeah, relatively nearby star, yeah. I'm curious
what the velocity of a radio frequency requires the characteristics of the medium. What a shocker.
Radio frequency? So just
does it make sense to you?
Any physical explanation, I'm curious.
All right, so first off, this is an absolute hypothetical because I don't believe we have space cameras or whatever.
Of course, you don't believe it. Yeah.
But in terms of what it could be, the fact remains that we still have air. It might be less air. It might be it's not going to be a perfect vacuum. So if you're looking at the star, maybe there's enough atmosphere there to cause it to have this.
That's the best you got.
Well, here's the best I got. It's a very, very dense fluid-like medium. It's incredibly dense, thousands of times more dense than perceivable air whenever we actually look at light. So the fact that you don't want to, you have to huff and puff with interruption. This is because I'm schooling you in your own profession, bro, and you need to address the fact that it's pseudoscientific theoretical nonsense.
Let me finish my answer.
I mean, you really did literally just say pseudoscience by proclaiming that there's a 1,000 times denser medium up there.
We definitely know that there's still air. It might not be the most dense air, but we definitely know that there's still air. Number two, we don't know what a star is. It could be in a medium. It could be, something that's super dense, that's changing the color of the light.
Oh, it is.
Oh, no.
To be honest, I expected a more.
My answer. My official
according to your percent burns you guys, and again, doesn't matter.
So let me just give my takeaway.
Go ahead.
My takeaway is that we have an indeterminate amount of information to say what it is.
I expected a more entertaining and fun answer, but
All right, Kronic, I got you. Let's check this out, man. There's something up there that's a fluid-like medium. If you presuppose the characteristics of this medium is incredibly dumb. For example, basically you can look at a sound wave like it is in fact in the ether, right? So a light is a sound wave in the ether, effectively. It's a transverse movement, which is what waving is. It isn't a thing. There is no wave length. There isn't a wave. It's literally just the movement of the medium. And whenever you presuppose characteristics of light, you presuppose the medium that's made up in and the absorption rate within, which is intrinsically relative to the medium itself and the density of it. You're just making up fairy tales, pseudoscientific fairy tales. The truth of the matter is that all observations show that it's a more dense medium, the way that light behaves, and we also know that it has superfluid-like properties based on what we see in the sky, what we observe, and we do not make observations outside of that. We have to make up fairy tales. So no, it's not in a vacuum. You're making up all kinds of pseudoscientific fairy tales because you have a confinement of assuming that it's an emptiness, a nothingness, a vacuum, nothing there. But it isn't. It's stupid. It's the opposite of that. That's what dark matter and dark energy is. Only the kind of smart people within your religion are starting to actually at least look at dark matter. There's a substance there. It's a dense medium that your own religion, according to the theory of relativity and its application to universe scale, is saying. So you're not even addressing what's there. If you're supposedly a professional, you would know there's actually a substance back there, and it's much more.
All right, man.
Cool. Citation needed for there's a
dark matter.
Citation needed for there's a super dense medium up there. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. See, it's called a substance of the material medium that you guys call dark matter. You guys are lost. You don't even understand your own religion, bro. It's wild. It's wild.
Dark matter is not claimed to be 1,000 times more dense.
Dark matter and dark energy make up 95%.
Dark matter is not claimed to be 1,000 times more dense than air.
How much more dense? Dude, it's not even worth asking for citations at that point. You just gotta let them spew and then let them spew and then.
Well, okay, how about this? Since I'm wrong and there's no citations to support me, how about this? How about you define dark matter?
We don't know.
Okay, we don't know. Yeah, well, I'm talking about what the acknowledgement of dark matter is, which is a mathematical discrepancy representing the substance that's there. That was presupposed to not be there. You don't even understand it. You guys don't even understand it. This is wild.
Actually, there are a few things that we do know about it. For example, it's not just a mathematical discrepancy.
Yes, it is.
It's no, hold on, I didn't finish. It's not just a mathematical discrepancy because it is mappable. It has locality. It's stuff.
So it's physical and material, right? It's stuff, right? Yeah, so it's more dense than something that's not there, right?
It is more dense than stuff that is not there, yes.
Wow. We're full circle back to me being right.
Let me just finish. But it is not nearly as dense as air. But it's, oh my God, I'm going to finish what I'm saying. Even you, Don, you can stop it too. What I'm saying is, oh my God, I'm just about to finish what I'm saying.
You guys are spiraling, man. Calm down.
But what I'm saying is dark matter is nowhere near as dense as air.
How do you know? It's not even an agreed upon theory yet.
Because it's mappable. It has been mapped.
It's mappable because there's some type of mathematical substance that's missing there.
It's not purely mathematical.
It's substantive, isn't it?
Not
Is it
mathematical. It is empirical. Hold on. It is not mathematical. It is empirically measurable.
Right, and it's substantive.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Oh, your religion just exploded. It imploded on itself.
No, it is not made of classical matter because that is literally.
It is not substantive at all.
I didn't say the stupid adjective classical matter. I never know it's a classical matter. I'm talking to you guys like you're in the big boy leagues, like you talk to the professors I talk to. So I need you guys to put your big boy pants on. Is dark matter substantive?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Shut the fuck up, Grim. Nobody's asking you.
Absolutely not.
Grim, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So they claim
dark matter, please.
But listen, they claim it's substantive. So that's the right answer.
Stupid.
Okay. So if of course. So they have a mathematical discrepancy. There's something substantive there. Right? That's the occupancy of the medium. The occupancy of the medium. The occupancy of the medium is substantive. We call it a dark matter. Our math is off. Dark meaning we don't know, it's undefined, and matter, assuming it's material in nature.
That's not what dark means.
Listen, I'm teaching you what it really means.
You're making shit up again.
For an example,
dark matter. Dark doesn't mean we don't know what it is. It's not what it means.
What does dark mean?
It means it doesn't interact with light.
To be substantive.
Okay, yeah, we have no observations regarding it. That's what it means.
Dark means it doesn't interact.
It means we have no observations regarding it.
Light is not the only way to observe something.
Oh, can you observe something not with light?
Yeah.
You observe stuff in the dark. You guys don't understand your own religion. It's over your own. I will say the heliocentric model isn't just stupid. There are people in the trenches and the universities that have actually. You guys just don't understand. You guys don't even understand it, bro.
So I just posted the actual. I just posted a value of dark matter, by the way. So it's 0.006 solar masses per cubic parsec.
Bullshit.
Or 4
Which is a ton.
Or 4 to the power of minus 22 kilograms per cubic meter.
Well, it's important to note that you're both right. That's a supposed number, and yeah, you're right. It's just proposed because this is what the math was off by. So whenever you say we know exactly what dark matter is, here's how we measured it. No. You came up. Well, listen. We know exactly how to. Okay, let me rephrase it. We know exactly how to quantify dark matter, right? Because here's what it is. And the truth is, well, your theory, it had a mathematical discrepancy, and then you've taken that number and then come up with dark matter to try to explain the number. Do not pretend you took what you don't know what it is, then measured it, and then said you know exactly what it is, quantified. That's literal lunacy. It's not even close to being admissible.
It still doesn't say they know what it is. It still doesn't say they know what it is.
But when you guys come on Discord and you pretend you have the number measuring it, but the truth is the number came from the fact that you couldn't know what was there.
We can observe things without knowing exactly what they are, Witsit.
Okay, you didn't measure anything because you don't know what you're measuring.
Okay, and the problem here is that you're saying that it's a mathematical discrepancy. If it were just a mathematical discrepancy, it would be virtually the same everywhere. It has concentration. It's mappable. It's not something that's just a mathematical discrepancy.
So the dispersal of the substantive background that is there is relative to the energy being input around it. Yeah.
That was a lot of slurring.
You guys will catch up to the fact that I already know way more than you guys know. I just know that we don't know everything. And there's a lot of people on my side.
You did just claim not too long ago that the space stuff that we observe it through 1,000 times more dense medium, which was turned out to be not true.
Well, no. So what I'm actually saying is that according to the fatherheads of electrical field theory, the ones that gave us the great electrical field we still use to this day, why you claim that they're dumb and know nothing, but they were just right about everything.
No, we just claim you're
Nikola Tesla said that there is an ether. There's a substantive background, and it's 1,000s of times more dense than the air. We know this because of the efficacy of propagation, and whenever it comes to sound propagation, it's effectively a light. A light is a sound wave within the ether. The ether is much more dense because whenever something's more dense, it has a higher efficiency of propagation. This is what Nikola Tesla said. And so whenever I actually listen to the people that know what they're talking about and gave us everything that we still use to this day, and you guys just say they're stupid but smart at the same time.
He didn't know what light was. Tesla did not know what light was. He didn't even know what electrons were.
You know what?
He just knew how electricity
he knew electrons
works.
weren't. He knew electrons.
The only
weren't
thing
physical
Tesla
things.
knew was how fucking electricity worked.
Wrong. He
That's
knew
all he knew.
he knew electrons weren't little physical particles that were spheres that bounce around in this chaotic bullshit fairy tale you've made up. He knew that it was nothing more than a part of an energy field. The terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction. And in fact, everyone knew this. All of the fathers of electrical field theory knew this. No, that's not word salad. It's the terminal end. If you claim to know anything about electricity, then you know what I'm saying. It's the terminal end of one unit line of induction.
That doesn't mean
one
anything.
line of induction within the field.
Word salad, because that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, what's the terminal end?
What's a line of
give
induction?
me the equation for what
Okay,
you're
so you
talking
agree
about,
terminal
which is-
end's not the word salad.
Is line of induction a word salad?
Do you not know what a line of induction is?
It's not a thing.
Let's go for it. Let's see what a
Okay,
line of
so
induction
so you're saying that so you don't actually have like inducted energy that goes in a cycle that doesn't exist in a line?
Is it?
What?
Is induction in a line?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see it.
Experiment, please. Let's see this.
Okay, yeah, you have an inductive
What's the
line of
equation for
dielectricity, bro. I'll show it to you. It's everything you've ever
What's it?
experienced.
And then you threw in the word dielectricity, which is also wrong.
A dielectric line, dude, it's the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction.
That doesn't mean anything.
That's just a
Really
mixture
doesn't
of-
mean
Okay, if you have an
Oxymoron.
energy field of dielectricity, which you people call electrostatics in your brainwashed stupor state, and then you draw a little dotted line so to outline that field, the gap between the lines is actually what we call an electron. We have actually isolated a physical phenomena within the field, but then we call it a little physical particle that's a sphere. It's dumb. That part's all made up. The fact is, we've isolated the phenomena. We have different ways to do this. Okay, typically utilizing light. That's the most efficient way to do it. And no, we do not have any evidence that it is in fact a physical little sphere. What we know is that that phenomena exists. It's the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction. When you have dielectricity or electrostatics, you have little gaps within the field. Those little gaps are what we call electrons. You can isolate the phenomena because the energy around it pressures mediate relative to where that location is. And then you isolate it and you call it an electron. The father says electrical field theory knew this, but we have been throwing them under the bus while we still have to utilize what they came up with while you guys claim they're stupid, but they were really smart to come up with it.
So if
Have
you're
some
going to say a whole
croutons with
bunch
that
of
word
things, you
salad.
have to know the definitions of the words you're using. For example, dielectric. Would you please define dielectric for everyone else, since your
Yeah,
definition
sure. This
does
is the
not
third
share
time.
commonality with anybody else's definition of
This
dielectric?
is the third time I've defined it since we've been discussing this over the last 3 minutes. Dielectricity, dielectrics is just another word for what you understand to be electrostatics. Those are interchangeable. Electrostatics, dielectric.
That's not how I use
They're
it.
not interchangeable.
I know it's not how you were told to define it because your stupid pseudoscience can't even define magnetism, a field, or electricity yet. So I would prefer not
Maybe
be
it's
on
the
the
other way
dumb
around.
people's side, you know.
The dumb
We have
people side
equations, though,
already
do
has
you?
a definition of dielectric, and it's not what you just said.
I just
Yeah.
no scientific application of the word that's wrong.
What's a line
Why should I use
unit?
your
What's a
definition of
line unit
dielectric?
of
What's yours?
electrostatics?
What?
What's a line unit of electrostatics?
Oh yeah. Electrons just one terminal end of a unit line of dielectric induction.
Unit line.
You don't even know
It's
what
a
any of those words
line.
mean.
It's a line of
What is
energy
induction?
that
What's
has
it?
gaps
What
within the
what's it?
field.
What is
Energy's
inductance?
induced into
What's
and
it?
absorbed effectively, then propagated.
What is
Look,
inductance?
here's the deal, guys. You guys
is
are very
inductance?
scared
What's
of
it?
what the truth is.
What's it? Do you know what inductance is?
Yeah. The energy's
What's
inducted in.
inductance?
Hey,
What does that
dude,
mean?
dude, wait, time out. Are you saying that?
Wow.
Are you saying?
Wow, that was the stupidest thing I've
What?
ever heard, dude.
Are you saying that isn't
Inductance
true?
is inductance. Yay.
Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
so
that's
you guys
the
are
thing.
morons. That's what it
Inductance.
comes down to.
Did
guys
you
are
know
actually
that?
dumb.
Did you know that yelling is making noise?
Yeah, that's a funny one, man. So when you say what is it, I just explain what it is. Okay.
No,
So-
you can't use the word in the definition, dude.
Okay. Some material composition induces the energy from the external source.
Induces in
That's
inductance.
even worse.
Absorbs. Is that better for you? Absorbs. You guys are
That's not quite-
literal
That's not
clowns.
quite accurate.
That's not quite accurate. Austin is just better at defining my religion than me. We had to run away from the fact that the universe is off by 95% of a substantive medium, which the people that came up with the electrical grid that were
same false.
which the people that we're discussing right now that came up with the electrical grid that we still use, Nikola Tesla, assumed that there was in fact an etheric background with substance, as did all of the fatherheads of electrical field theory, like Charles Proto Steinmetz, who perfected the AC generator, or Steinmetz. Right, we can just name them forever. They all actually agree that there is, in fact, an etheric background. Lorentz, for example, Lorentz transformations and turned to the contraction of the apparatus itself and microsomorally applying relativity. Every single thing that we have come to this day that we still utilize to this day was assuming an etheric background that was substantive. And now, when we apply the theory of relativity to the supposed universe all spinning around one another, it's off by 95%. And you guys want to run around trying to act like when I redefine terms that are better and more properly accurate denotations of your terms, that you want to spiral about it and try to come up with some word I don't know, which it never works because I am speaking truth.
I got a question about Tesla.
Are scared of truth.
You're a fan of Tesla, right? So can you tell me where he used the ether in his induction motor?
He assumed it to come up with it.
So where is it in the equations?
He said that it has to be there to come up with his equations. You're not listening.
Where's his flat Earth model? Where's Tesla's flat Earth model, please?
Yeah, he didn't propose models of the Earth. He actually went underground at the end of his life and didn't really tell many people much about anything that he was coming up with.
Tesla. That's really funny because Tesla actually believed the Earth was a globe.
That's actually 100% not true. So there's a quote of Tesla.
100% true.
Okay,
he really wanted to talk about rockets.
You guys just regurgitate like the talking points you heard from the Globe side. I actually went and read it.
We are the Globe side.
I know, you just regurgitate.
We don't need to repeat arguments. We are the Globe side. We don't need to repeat.
Right, I know. You
repeat the same fucking regurgitation every single day.
Okay,
the same nonsense.
You're the mainstream.
So why are you complaining about us saying that true points?
The
same points when we're trying to argue the correct side.
My main point was actually that you're just
all you do is repeat the same fucking nonsense every day, Witsit. Every single fucking day. Doesn't it get boring?
You're the mainstream propaganda regurgitation
Does it not get
team,
boring?
right? So whenever you heard Tesla being brought up by the flat earthers a lot, they told you to then say Tesla knew the Earth was a ball, and you guys have ran with it. Some of you for years because it's just
he legit wanted to put rockets.
I went and read what he said about it, and what he actually said was paraphrased that the way that we know the Earth's a sphere is because Christopher Columbus utilized the Copernican model whenever traveling the Earth, and then of course he tried to map out his Wardenclyffe Tower on a globe. You guys don't know shit. You never read anything, bro. He then tried to actually map it out on a globe, and he saw it wouldn't work. It didn't work, but he was having proper results whenever it came to anything outside of assuming the sphere. He then threw that, trashed it. He utilized his Wardenclyffe Tower no longer with the assumption of the convexity of terra firma. And you guys don't know anything about it, haven't read it. Okay, I'll show you. Dude, you haven't read it. You're just showing you haven't read his papers.
It comes from conspiracy.job.com.
No, it comes from the actual material that he wrote, bruh.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but he actually did talk
one
about
diagram of the Earth-Venus sphere. The direct quote I just now said, it was a little paraphrase, was that we know the Earth's a sphere because Christopher Columbus utilized the Copernican model, and we know that's not
he actually did.
He did say that. He said that objectively.
He himself discussed putting rockets into orbit around a spherical Earth.
Yeah. Okay. And did he say that it would work?
He said that late in his late in his life, actually, even.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Cite it.
Maybe what you're saying is wrong.
No, I just know you're making some
that's the article. Actually, this is funny because the article itself says the quote that everybody that's a flat earther likes to quote about how much we don't know about science.
Okay, so the question is, do you have the actual writings where he said it in the context of it? Have you read it? Would you like to cite it? Or are you just making unfounded claims like Clovers always do?
Oh, I didn't know that they actually had a flatearth.ws on it. But yeah, there it is.
That's crazy. I didn't know that globe earthers were just...
Yeah, it's right there.
Ridiculous.
It's from the magazine.
And basically religious zealots. And when I try to have a true conversation with them about how you haven't even proposed a heliocentric model mathematically yet, and it's off when it comes to the cosmological scale of 95%, you guys act like it's not a big deal. But the truth is you act like we're dumb at the same time.
Heliocentric model talk about galaxies.
I said the heliocentric model and how it applies to the cosmological scale. And what's funny is...
I don't think it does.
Hold on, because he's going to keep talking to avoid the point that I'm about to make.
I'm not avoiding anything. You guys are clown shows. So what you've been doing for about 10 minutes
look at it right there. It's in the article. It's in the magazine. It says that he was talking about putting rockets into orbit. That's him talking.
That's what the article says. How about you cite the actual writing in context?
It does.
One moment, please.
Well, then why don't you? Okay,
Right after you
so
cite all the stuff that you brought up. What's it?
yeah, here's the deal. Here's the deal. The reason that Tesla thought
No, I don't want the deal. I want the citation. No,
okay,
I don't want to hear your opinion.
Okay, I cite it
hear
all the
your
time.
opinion.
I'll cite it again, no problem. So
yeah,
the reason
sure you
Tesla said the Earth was a ball, it's a direct
While
quote
you're
from
talking.
him. It's a direct. He wrote this, and he said effectively the way that we know it's a sphere is because of the circumnavigation of the
Cite
Copernican
this.
model.
I don't want you paraphrasing.
Every time you tell me to cite it and I cite it, you guys just dismiss it.
You're paraphrasing. I'm giving your opinion. I don't see the citation.
Have you tried to find it?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about, really.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
It's easy to find it. I mean,
yeah. So
It's up to
anyway,
you.
how about this?
I'm not gonna
This
do your
is the real.
research for you.
Tesla wasn't right about everything, so I guess you guys are strawmanning me. Like basically, since I know he was right about electricity and gave us the electrical grid that we still use to this day with the AC generator, that I'm then saying by deduction everything the man ever uttered was
That you don't
true.
know anything
And no, I'm
about.
not. And in fact, I'm not saying that at all. And when you say, "Oh, Tesla thought the Earth was a sphere, knew the Earth was a sphere," you sound retarded because you haven't read his writing. He said that was because of the utilization of navigation by Christopher Columbus,
You don't even
known
know
to be lie
what
of a
induction
story.
is. What's it?
So anyway,
Oh,
I
look
did.
at you spiraling because I
hold on.
dismantle your religion. I gotta
So
go,
what
guys. You
so
guys
what I
don't
went
know
out
the
and
truth.
did, what I
What's
went
up?
out and
Bye.
did is I did what you asked me to do and cite the source, and there it is in the chat. So what you need to do is go ahead and cite your source.
Okay, so have you just try to look up Nikola Tesla talking about Christopher Columbus, and you'll find it.
Yeah,
It's
we
not
found
hard.
this article that refutes what you said, though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. No. No.
I never said he didn't come up with. I try to come up with how right. What I actually said was he came up with the AC generator, which gave us the electrical grid that we still utilize the AC generator in the electrical grid.
Well, you're right about that, but we also have like
Heads of
DC
electrical
machines.
field theory that we use to this day said, in fact, this actually started with me telling you there was a substantive background, and you guys denying the fact your own religions come up with the fact that.
What electrical field theory did Tesla come up with?
I said one of the fatherheads of electrical field theory, because he agreed and built upon the other fatherheads, right? Like I already explained all the names to you, and you guys want to ignore it. I already told you that the Lorentz transformation came from no more than Lorentz, then applied to the contraction. He assumed there was electromagnetic substantive background. Now your religion, over a century after theory of relativity was postulated, has now had to reluctantly admit there is in fact 95% of a substantive background that is mathematically not accounted for. You people are religious zealots and run away from it and ask me to define induction. You have stupid definitions of induction because you don't even know what magnetism and electricity are, how they're intrinsically
More
tied
citations,
together.
less words.
I gotta go. You guys are scared of the truth. Whenever
More
you run away,
citations, less words.
hey, if you guys
Where's
think
that
I'm
citation?
crazy,
What's it?
if you guys think I'm crazy because I don't believe in your fairy tale, at least get your fairy tale within 95% accuracy next time. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see the flat Earth model be more than 95%.
Hey, is
accurate.
my bad. I just got back. Is percentage still here?
God, it's so funny how he projects when he says, "You guys
Why
are
would you
scared,"
ask
but
that
then he
question,
leaves.
Kronic? Why would
No,
you
I
ask
just-
that question?
Just to see. I had a last point I wanted to make before I go to a meeting. All right. Well, I'll catch him later, maybe.
I hope you never catch him.
Rude.
Those
We just
damn
want something to
kids.
play with.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like
if
a
he's
cat
going to
with a ball
talk
of yarn.
about redshift being caused by absorption, I mean, that's just comedy.
If you catch him, he'll never get away with it.
What does cause redshift? Like, can someone explain it? I never really understood it.
The Doppler effect.
Relative velocity between your position as an observer and what you're observing.
Yeah, it's just
That
a
makes
Doppler
sense
effect.
for like a sound wave, right? But I mean, light always travels at the same speed, regardless of the observer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
time.
when the
time
emitter
dilation.
is moving, that's where it comes
Observational
into
momentum.
play.
With the objects in motion, effectively. In reference to light obviously operates just on its own frame of reference thing stuff.
Oh.
But our observation is from our reference frame.
It's not too different from a sound wave because a sound wave has a
It's
certain
not.
speed of sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and which is why just the Doppler effect is the easy way to think about it.
But I mean, I thought like if I speed up to something emitting sound, then the frequency will increase.
Right. Same thing happens with
but
light.
this-
That's exactly.
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not changing the speed of sound if I'm catching up to the source.
Right.
So that's a constant, just like light speed is constant.
If you're moving away from it, then it looks like the wavelength is longer, or the frequency is slower. That's
the theory.
Boychick doesn't like this place. Why does he keep coming back? Is he suffering from battered wife syndrome?
because nobody else wants him.
I have to say, it is impressive how much he can ramble with one breath.
Well, he's doing it for a particular reason because he doesn't want to address something that was just said.
I mean, he does ramble a bunch of words continuously. That's like.
But you never let me get my words out.
That's what crazy people do. Why is that shocking?
No, I mean, it's like a weird.
Why are you over-talking me? All the time. Oh my god.
How does he have the mental fortitude to rattle off that much stuff? I mean, it's stuff he's memorized, you know? He's not making it up every time. It's stuff he's memorized. I couldn't rattle off things I've memorized that quickly.
Not. What if you practice that every day of your life?
Yeah. If you don't have anything,
autism.
If you don't do anything else but that, it would come to you. You'd be able to master it.
Actually, the funny thing
words,
is,
though, it would be. Oh, go ahead.
Earth now. I was going to say, if you let him go on long enough, he hits the scratch in the record and goes back to the beginning.
So who
It wasn't that funny. It really wasn't worth waiting for, and I apologise.
How do you make your flat Earth? Oh, how do you make your flat Earth?
Yeah, what's up, Don?
You won, right?
I don't claim to win any argument. I was gonna follow up with a percentage if he ever got back. I have a science meeting to go to like in 2 minutes, but I was gonna actually look up. So his final claim about his final claim about the atmosphere causing this ever-changing Doppler shifting, the radial velocity shifting. I was gonna take a few minutes and actually look up 2 different studies, one from a spectrometer on the ground and one from space, observing the same stars radial velocities to debunk his thing about the atmosphere being the cause.
The one in space doesn't really exist. Ha! Loser.
Well, of course, yeah.
So
he
I
already.
assume.
Go
Do we
ahead.
measure the same amount of redshifts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we do. Within the uncertainty, within the 1 sigma, they agree from the ground and from space. So.
Well, they're not exactly the same then, are they?
Well, no measurement is exactly the same.
Well, then it's not accurate. Yeah, that's another one of the ones that bugs me.
Yes, I can measure the number of wives I have. 1.
People who the only instrument they've ever touched is the one God told them that they shouldn't. I apologise to everybody. I'm in a foul fucking mood.
You're ugly too.
Yeah, well.
Hello?
Hello.
Johnny,
Yeah,
is that you?
finally got
He's
my
not
mic
as
open.
ugly and drunk as Johnny, at
Long
least.
enough.
I thought that was Johnny. I would have sworn that was Johnny.
No. I've been listening to you guys literally for like 10 minutes straight with him complaining, throwing out bullshit, and you guys complaining, throwing out bullshit. Like, both of you are just screaming out fake shit. Earth's all
Bullshit.
imaginary. Everything you guys just said for like the past 10 minutes, it's freaking imaginary.
Okay. Thank you for your opinion.
So you don't
No,
think
that's not an
Kronic
opinion,
won?
that's a fact.
That's an opinion.
No, it's fact.
You want to talk
It's my
specifics?
opinion that
Talk
your
specifics.
opinion is your opinion.
Yeah, because basically I have the facts. You guys have imaginary facts.
Let's talk specifics then. Throw us one.
My We're so happy for you.
Twinkle,
When will the wedding be?
twinkle.
So why do you guys believe the Earth is a ball anyway?
Because it is.
It's the
That's
law.
not a good reason.
Because of direct measurement.
Because it's the law.
The evidence leads.
Direct measurements and evidence are good reasons.
Okay, so what are you gonna do about the giant snake circling the Earth?
The giant snake?
Yeah.
Zip it up.
I'm gonna send Thor to kill it.
My penis only goes around a quarter of the Earth, not the entire thing. You liar.
You guys want to see it? What are you gonna
Yeah,
do
let's
about
see
it?
it.
Giant
Yeah.
snake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill the Tomb Raider.
We don't do anything about imaginary things.
It's on the flat Earth. You want to see it?
Look, just wait for Ragnarok. You'll be fine.
No. It already happened. Here, let me show you.
No.
Okay,
Ragnarok is
let's
going to
see.
happen in the
Let's
future.
see.
Nope.
No,
Too
let's
late.
see this. Let's see this. The giant snake.
Oh no.
You guys are all wrong. It's a gigantic three-dimensional triangle upside down.
It could be interesting. He could be posting the.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Snake
post it
Man.
on the general.
Is this going to be like BB?
No,
No, don't post it there. Post it in debate chat box.
Yeah, we don't look at general.
Okay.
It's a great place to post it, though, if you want to.
I bet you this is going to be an argument like BB used to have. Remember that guy?
No, there's no argument. It's just physical reality.
It's a huge snake in the desert. It's a squid eye in a.
It's the giant
mountain with the
desert
fucking.
squid.
Yeah, and there was a battle between the dragon and the huge
Is that where I get my
pterodactyl-like
satellite
eagle.
TV from? The satellite snake gives me my satellite TV.
Yes, it's the
okay.
one and the same.
Where's
Cousins
the
with the
satellite?
squid eye in the desert.
I still don't see this.
I knew it.
It's in general.
Where I gotta post this thing.
And debate chat box.
I see you have the attention span of all the other flat earthers we met. Well,
2-step instructions are 1 step too many.
you're doing very well. Oh no, he's putting typography on.
I tell you, this is grueling waiting this long.
I've just looked at it in general. You're going to be disappointed.
NSFW.
Taking him too seriously.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man,
yeah.
that was pretty creepy looking. Wow. I have to admit, that's pretty crazy.
That's
Hold on, before we dismiss this, I would like to hear it. What is this, skeptic?
That's
it's part of Antarctica.
Topographic.
What is the first one?
Oh my goodness.
It's just like a false color image of it.
Dun dun dun.
The Earth.
It looks like paint splattered on the ground.
Here, you zoomed out more. It's the same picture. It's just like a different color.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. There's a giant snake circling the earth. Jesus Christ killed it. And now
image
acquired. Put in there.
And you used Google Earth to find it. How ironic.
No, I used the U.S. Navy site, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration.
Right.
So how
was it acquired?
That doesn't even look like a snake. What are you talking about? Are you suffering from paranoia?
No.
Pareidolia.
Is that Satan?
Is that Satan?
It looks like a really derpy snake to me.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even see a snake. Where is the snake? I just see a landmass. Like, where's the snake?
Look
got
at
a full grill and everything.
The first one he posted kind of looks like it has a face.
Yeah, these guys scared? The bottom one kind of looks like a Gilbert character with a big nose.
Crocodiles to me. It's not a snake.
Oh my
All right,
goodness.
skeptic. Now that they've taken the piss out of you, would you like to explain this to us?
Oh yeah. Let me explain. Before the flood of Noah, when God flooded the earth, this thing was alive. Jesus Christ killed it.
What thing? Because I don't see what you're actually talking about. I just see
the snake.
What snake?
It's called Jormungandr or something like that.
Where's
the
snake?
Jesus Christ, flood, but carry on.
Yeah, but you're saying
Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking. He killed this thing, and he decided, okay, I'm gonna put its tail in its mouth, and I'm gonna poke a hole in the back of it. And then when atheists die, I'm gonna put them in there, and they're gonna be tortured inside the snake until the last days, basically. So when you guys die, you guys are going in there to be tortured, and then you guys will be
from
released
Leviticus,
in
right?
the last days. So.
And Jesus, it wasn't born until 3,000 years after the flood?
What?
And Jesus, who killed the snake, who wasn't born until several thousand years after the flood?
By the way,
Father and the Son are one.
Different cultures that didn't notice the flood.
Right. Also, if Jesus killed the snake right after the flood, doesn't that mean that the whole fable about Noah is wrong because Jesus was on the boat with them? No?
No.
Because only Noah and his family survived the flood, right?
The Father and the Son are one.
So we have a snake that is larger than some continents. What
I don't even see this thing. Like
It's underwater topography. Somebody tell him it's underwater topography. It's not a snake.
Right. We all know this. We all know.
No, the text
No, I think I do kill. I remember I killed a snake.
No, the
He's
text
just
says
sleeping.
so, and Jesus Christ never lies. So you know.
Is there a giant mouse?
He's
the
right.
white
He's right.
snake
Guys.
What Bible passage did you get this from, Skeptic?
I told you I got this from the U.S. Navy, National
No, no,
Oceanic
no.
Atmospheric
The story
Administration.
about Jesus
Noah
killing the
is
snake.
not the Navy.
What?
Okay.
What?
You have to
What
look
part of
through
the
the
Bible
document.
did you read this in?
What?
What part of the Bible told you about the snake?
Oh no, it's in the Pistis of Sophia, chapter 126.
Okay.
It's the first one.
And who wrote that?
I don't care. All I care is whether it's true or not.
And you're
Sophia
safe,
Jones.
right? You're guaranteed
sorry.
heaven already?
How do you know it's true?
Wait,
The
I
body's
missed
right
the
there.
book. Can we repeat the book again?
How do you know that that's not
Pistis
just
of TIS of Sophia. Pistis of Sophia, chapter 126. It's literally verse 1.
Guys, there's a huge snake under the ground.
Oh, and I don't believe in science. It's garbage to me.
Then why are you on the internet?
Because
because you're a
the
fucking
Watchers
hypocrite.
taught the human race how to make this laptop.
Well, that's science that discovered this
No,
stuff.
no, no. The
including
Watchers taught the human
electricity.
race how to make this laptop. Science is an imaginary fairy tale. Technology is real.
The Watchers told us how to make
Technology is based on science.
No, technology is based off religion and the Watchers.
Why did you buy a
Science
computer that
is
Bill
very
Gates made?
This is like one of those kooky alt religion Gnostic texts. Fucking. Okay, I gotcha.
No, it's a snake. Look
Sorry.
at that thing.
How do you
It
feel
looks
about
just like a
Enoch?
snake.
Where do babies go when they die?
They go to heaven. The kingdom belongs to the children.
Yeah, I don't see anything about a snake in here.
When babies go to heaven, does God like level them up?
No.
So they can be
Grow up.
adults.
Heaven's flat. Heaven's
Level
flat.
126,
Heaven's not a
Not
ball.
122, 126.
Yeah,
Like,
heaven's flat. It's not like it's like flat Earth.
Brenda, I
Flat.
can answer
How
your
come I'm not
question,
reading
Brenda.
anything about a snake in this chapter?
I said 126, not 122.
Hey,
That's
Brenda,
why.
I can
Oh, you
answer
said
your
121.
No, I said 126.
No, you can go back and listen. You said 121 3
Well,
times.
then you heard me wrong, or I split it out.
That's
121
okay.
by accident. Either way, it's 126.
Brenda.
Yo, I'm on Team Skeptic.
Brenda, I can answer your question.
Yeah, you
about
guys want to see the
leveling up.
giant tree that was on the earth, Yggdrasil?
Nobody appears to respect you speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's taking you seriously, dude. Because
Okay, all right.
Skeptic, what
Do
about
you
the
wanna see the
giant tree
pictures or
that's
not?
in hell?
Do you want to see
The outer
pictures?
darkness is a great dragon.
I still haven't seen you show a picture of a snake.
I did. I could show you. I have more
No,
here.
I've
but-
seen you show a picture of a map with something that
Yeah,
you
it
claim
does. It's
resembles
that
a snake. I
It
don't think
circles
that's.
the earth. It has to. But here,
See.
I'll give you something anyone can literally go to on their own just by taking a plane.
It's the elevation of the ground below the water. It goes up and
Can't
down
take
in
a
some
plane.
parts.
Right.
Can't take a plane. That's science.
Yeah.
Does the
There's a
word
giant tree on the
pareidolia mean anything to you, skeptical?
No, pareidolia is garbage to me.
Okay,
anyone
sure.
that thinks pareidolia is like actually real retarded. It's
Yeah, I
just
mean,
giant bodies
Yeah,
and
no.
animals and all this stuff.
This
from the
guy knows it all.
outside.
So I'm not reading anything about here about Jesus killing a snake.
Yeah, this guy's fake.
You are
It's in
blaspheming on
chapter
one of the
126.
texts
Outer
of
darkness is
Jesus.
a giant dragon with its tail in its mouth.
Right. It doesn't
Okay?
say anything
You
in
said
here
it's
about
a
him
snake.
killing a snake.
It says it right there.
No, it doesn't.
126,
Why are you guys
verse
scared
1.
of the big
I posted
snake?
the link. A
Okay.
dragon of darkness.
Now
And
you
it
see
doesn't
my
say that he
big
killed it.
snake and you're all scared of it.
He's calling
Yeah.
it the 12
It's called
levels
outer
of
darkness.
hell.
It's in the Bible. Okay?
Right, and he doesn't kill it here. So I'm going to say that you're a liar and you're blaspheming.
No.
That
no,
means you're
I'm
going
not,
right to
because I'm
hell.
not stupid.
You're
Where
also
do you think that snake
misrepresenting the
comes
word
from?
of Jesus Christ.
Where do you think that
How
snake
could you
comes
do that?
from?
How could
Where
you
do
do
you think-
that?
Where does that snake come from? Do you know?
No, but I know that you're quoting the wrong passage or you're lying about Jesus, and both of those
No,
are
I'm not.
sins.
No, I'm not. Look, it's coming
Yeah.
out of his mouth. He's the
And
one
you
that's
also
saying it.
blanketed
In the text.
everybody as atheists. So,
Mm-hmm.
you're just betting 1,000 for being a prick.
It doesn't matter.
You're lying.
You guys-
Atheists
you
shut up.
guys
You're
lose
good,
in the end
You're
either
one
way.
of these ones. You're one of these
You
people
guys
who
lose
self.
in the end either way, so it
You're
really
bearing
doesn't matter.
false witness against the Holy Father and his text.
Yeah. You probably follow there are three that bear his name in heaven, right? That's your verse.
All right, I'd like to know how you determine that this
who are the
Watchers? I'd like to know how you determine this semicircle that you see on this map is the snake they're speaking of, and not the other million semicircles that we see on different maps.
That's because you guys know Norse mythology, right? Well, that snake is in Norse mythology. Well, Norse mythology is before the flood of Noah.
Is your name like Barnabas or something?
Which is
Nagy.
It's
Barnabas
one of the reasons
Nagy.
why the Bible mentions,
Barnabas Nagy.
the Bible mentions a giant tree on the earth.
Yo,
The Bible
Skeptic,
mentions
who are
a
the
giant tree on the
Watchers?
earth. I can get
I
the
thought
verses.
Thor killed
Who
the
are the
snake,
Watchers?
Oh, the Watchers are the fallen angels who had sex with the women, basically raped them and got them pregnant, and they gave birth to giants. You want to see them?
The giants are
the
Nephilim?
giants?
Are the giants Nephilim?
Yeah,
Are you Barnabas Nagy? Be honest.
And you say the Watchers will inherit the earth?
I think you're Barnabas.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
Does anybody think that baby Jesus, could wipe his own ass?
Not important.
Yes.
Heaven's flat. It's not a ball.
If he can't wipe his ass, then you're blaspheming him because he can do everything.
Yeah, don't worry. Look, talk all the shit you want. I already know at the end where you guys are going, so it's like
Amen.
Oh yeah. And you're gonna be in heaven, right, buddy? Judging your fellow man, calling everyone a fool. Yeah.
See you later.
All right, Skeptic.
Those who call
Yggdrasil
people
is
fool
the tree
are
that was
worthy
on
also
Earth,
of hellfire.
Right? Sorry, go ahead, Sheeple.
I'm saying.
I don't think that Jesus could wipe his own ass. And hear me out on this. So
you're going to hell.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so modern days, right? We use toilet paper to wipe our ass, right? Back then they probably used their hands.
Bidet, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So toilet paper or bidets, right?
You used your left hand to clean with and your right hand to eat with.
I don't think he wiped. I think he picked. You know, like you would pick your butt after you poop.
No.
Like pick it. P-I-C-K. Pick.
You would let it dry so you could.
Yeah, it would like dry, and then you would pick it off.
That's too close to being gay. All right, not putting sticks in your ass.
You're nasty just for thinking that, hentai.
Yeah, that's why.
I know your hygiene isn't that great just because you had the thought.
Do you think Jesus thought the world was flat?
Of course he did.
Yeah, because it was in scripture.
That's why Islam does not think Jesus was God, because he had to defecate and he had to sustain himself. You know, that's why Islam don't believe he was God, and that's why Jesus himself says he's not God. But twist the scripture and make him God. That's fine.
So I have a theory that Jesus could turn his own poop into bread. That's how he fed the 5,000.
Poop into water.
How do the Bible thumpers overcome the fact that Jesus said he's not God?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the providence gospel, more like that we've, the Joel Osteen's of the world, where, it'll be given to you, just pray, and all the rest of it. It goes against everything. I mean, Brenda, when it comes to the miracles, Jesus himself said, "By myself I can do nothing. With the finger of God, I." So, and in Islam, Jesus himself speaks there in chapter 5, verse 116 to 119, talking about how he was merely just doing the will of God, talking to God directly, saying, I told them what you told me to say when I was with them. So to take that and make Jesus God, he himself said that he wasn't God. And he even said in one verse, John 17:3, "This is eternal life, that they may know you, the only true God, and even me, Jesus Christ, whom you have sent."
Then you don't have Christianity as we've known it for 2,000 years, though.
That's what I'm talking about. The Trinity was like 400 years of implementation from the verse chapter 5 verse 7, the one that says there are three that bear his name in heaven, the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. That was later found when they did more archaeology, that they found more manuscripts and they couldn't find that verse anywhere, and they removed it as an interpolation, a forged verse. So,
whoa, there's forgeries?
Yeah.
That's definitely gotta be blasphemy. You forgery the Bible?
One of the epistles, I can't remember which one of the epistles is known by all scholars to be a forgery. One of the epistles.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, Jesus gave the message, and that's why there's so much debate between Islam and Christianity, because they call him Islam. They call him a mighty messenger, sent by God. They believe that they have all the other 25 prophets in the Quran, but they don't make him God, nor do they make Muhammad God. Peace be upon them both. And the problem is, if you take away that and be like, oh well, I can do no wrong, and anything I do is fine because the blood of Jesus will save me. I mean, this is why you get people coming here. You're all going, hasn't met any of us. You're all going to be in hell. You're going to be tortured in the great sake. You're going to be killed, you know what I mean? Because they sit from this holier than thou point of view, and I think if you look at the subtlety inside scripture, it's about intent being known, true intent being known, and your life being recorded. That's the message. And I just find it very insulting to be dismissed without the person even knowing my real name. And
Look,
I find
Jesus
this the
went
lack.
around telling everyone that they were going to hell. So this guy can do the same thing, right?
What?
Jesus went around telling everyone they're going to hell. So skeptic was just doing the same thing.
I don't think he did say anyone was going to hell.
Oh, really? So then he wasn't behaving very Christ-like.
Did I tell you were
Good
going
point.
to hell?
Is your name Skeptic?
Exactly.
I'm the lamb.
Jesus, Jesus's message was basically, I'm here because you motherfuckers have tried to make yourself the most important thing on earth. You've gone against the word. Don't think I've come here to change anything. I've come here to remind you. And I think if you miss the nuance of the scripture that shows you that you were to be strong in your belief and faith and trust in yourself, be thankful for what you have, but only share your viewpoint, not to drive people away with this thought. I mean, Jesus said, "I'll make you fishers of men." I mean, you don't fucking, you fish with bait. You then create fishers of men who then can, possibly put the line out. You don't catch fish every time you go fishing. And
yeah, you do.
So,
You're not doing it
might.
right.
The point is that it's not like guaranteed. I mean, this person's like, well, I'd rather just take this bath, bath of Jesus's blood, wash it over me every time I do wrong, and I'm good. I mean, you went to be planting seeds and ideas and viewpoints, but also giving the person who you're speaking to the ability to live and let live. And there's so much is lost today in fundamentalism of religion. It's like my God's the best one, and that's that, and all you other people who don't believe in my God are going to hell. Where the message across multiple years was always faith, So
I appreciate you, sheeple. You's good people, even if you are Kiwi.
Yeah, exactly. It's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never try to coerce another person's viewpoint through threatening them. But I certainly won't feel ashamed in sharing my own viewpoint. So that's the way I think it has to be.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah. And in my eyes, the creator is the best form of guidance and the one to guide if you wish to, open, put a seat in your soul, a welcoming chair for God to sit, type thing. Who am I to be the one to, I just could be a signpost along the way to give you my viewpoint. And I think that that's lost in this idea of superiority where I'm totally fine because, I'm going to be in heaven. And now I feel that, you might have been a Christian for like
6 months, and now you're, being a terrible person your whole life, a racist, a horrible person, got lots of, conflicts, caused lots of pain, and what? Oh well, that's fine. I'm done. I've found God now. That's it. Everything's fine. Everything's forgotten. Where true repentance for me is never forgetting what you did, always being aware of the wrong you did, not to dwell on it and hold yourself back. But that's why I think repentance, repenting, it's all in the same tense. It's all in the now. So I just find it really interesting when people are dismissed based off an assumption, a subjective opinion about what this room's all about. And I had no time for that guy and many others like him. And thanks
Quit
for
being
listening.
such an atheist, bro. You're going to hell. And flat Earth. Research flat Earth too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
the land's
he's like,
still here. Would you like to
Earth
jump
is
in
the
on that?
wrong sort of atheist.
It's like I hate science, but take a plane.
What about atheist flat earthers?
What's that?
What about atheist flat earthers?
They're the worst.
Are they going to hell too?
I've said enough. I've rambled enough. Don't worry about me. Someone said something.
Sorry,
So Shivo, the scriptures, they say that the earth is, a wide expanse. It kind of implies that the earth is flat, right? How do you kind of like juxtapose this with believing that the earth is a globe?
Well, I think a wide expanse does not have to,
Yeah, but it says spread out like a rug. The implication is that it's a flat earth. So how do you reconcile the two?
Well, I think it also says, if you don't know, kind of ask those who do. So when you don't know why or what the shape of the earth is, you ask those who do.
So I think you don't think it takes away from.
So you cheat off someone
the
else's
knowledge
paper
of the information like in the scripture, if it implies that it's flat, but in reality it's not. Wouldn't that be a sign that it's not necessarily from God?
Isn't there a verse about Doha, like ostrich egg?
That's they say والأرض دحاها. They say that has to do with an egg, but that's just poor like comprehension. Dahaha means to spread it out, and then you can kind of take dahya and apply it to that, but it's like it's not necessarily proper etymology.
A few years since I looked at one of the websites that was going through the flat Earth claims of the Quran. I can't remember the other viewpoints,
but apologists would try to say that it says ostrich egg, but if you look at the historical tafsirs of like the most notable ulama, they would say that it's it means just spread out, like medda, dahaha, satihat, they all kind of mean the same thing.
But that's still a verse trying to explain the world to somebody. I mean, it's somebody's viewpoint that they put down. So how they word things, of course, they're going to word things so that somebody could understand. In my opinion, if you look at the verse, you could interpret it many ways. But what I take from it is that the world is out there. For that verse, that God created something that is out there for you to see. That's what I get from that verse. So it would be an interpretation.
What verse are you talking about?
I'm not sure. It's the wide expanse one.
Yeah, there's probably like, 15 mentions of it in the
Mic
Quran
check.
with different words. Your mic's fine.
How fine is it? 10 out of 10?
It's about an 8.
Hell yeah.
What?
Okay, 7.
7. Alright. Good enough. I'm just testing new headphones. Well, carry on.
Carlos.
Chill on.
Hey, Carlos, do you still have the cold moonlight test video?
Say that again?
Didn't you do the cold moonlight test?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Can you post that video in the chat? Do you still have that up?
Yeah. Hang on 1 second.
Cool, thank you, man.
What do you mean
Alright,
cold moonlight?
You know how that cold moonlight test was done by the meat thermometers? Well, he redid it with proper equipment.
I was going to say alleged cold moonlight.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the moon would like freeze stuff?
Yeah, it's its own light source.
The moonlight is a freeze ray.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the guys who were pointing a thermal
Who's a good dog?
infrared thermometer
Coco's a
to
good
aluminum
dog.
foil.
Coco's a
Hot like
good dog.
somebody's dog is hot 19.
It's Coco is a good dog. Dakota, so you were going to say something before you got cut
Sorry
off.
about that.
Yeah, sorry guys, I have only 1 minute left. So you have been talking about, and everybody have been talking about the verses in Bible, but on the Council of Nicaea in 325, they have been established their alignment to versus the science. And they have been created, in Romanian it's called crezul. I don't know how it's called in English, and they have only one God, and they believe it in him, whatever it's going to be and whatever it's going to have. So that's why everything what is going to be from science is going to be denied. So don't expect a Christian, pure Christian, to believe in something that is coming from science.
Put the link on the chat.
Sorry, Dakota, I didn't quite understand. You're saying in the Council of Nicaea something about Krezul, which is, oneness, monotheism? And then how did you relate that to science?
Yes. And inside of that commitment that have been done there, they have been denied everything what it have been done by science, and they have been going only with the scriptures and only what it's written in the past by the scriptures. So that's why a pure Christian is not going to believe nothing that it's coming outside from the scriptures.
Okay, so I understand. You're saying at the Council of Nicaea, they kind of made the decision to stick to the scriptures regardless of whether it diverges from science or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, but my question is, for the Council of Nicaea, that's when they decided to adopt this rhetoric of the Trinity. So
yes, that's very true.
That's when they decided to, have one God, but it's really when they decided to diverge it into 3.
If you're gonna go with apostolicals, you're gonna understand what is the Trinity. It's very hard for me to explain it in 1 minute because I have to run in the office. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Carlos, why do you have a thermal camera? Are you spying on your neighbors?
How hot they are.
That's good.
But at some point, I want to get into how disappointed I am that Whitsitt got away scot-free with what sounded to me like him claiming he was likening sound to light, claiming sound was a transverse wave in the ether. Both of those things are incorrect. The sound being waves in the ether.
Wave. I thought he was saying light was a wave in the ether, just like sound is a wave in the air.
No, sound is a wave in the ether, and he called it a transverse wave.
No, I was not listening to him. Sorry.
But even more importantly than the transverse part, if sound had anything to do with ether, this all permeable ether, you would not be able to eliminate the sound of, say, an alarm clock in an evacuated bell jar by taking the air out of it. because you're not removing the ether. Remember, it's purified ether in there, according to Lemon, and it would still transmit sound. It doesn't.
True.
It's a dipshit.
I saw
Fuck
this
off,
personally. I saw this personally at the Science Museum maybe like 3 months ago. They had one of the demonstrations where they're ringing a bell, and then they evacuate the chamber that the bell is in, and you can't hear sound anymore from the bell, even though you see the bell ringing.
But Witsit doesn't know that.
He knows more than all of us, Curved.
Yeah, he's too smart for us.
Too smart for us, dummies.
Back up your boy, Pecunt.
What?
Back up your boy. Come on.
I wasn't here when he
He's
said
your
whatever he said.
teammate.
He did kind of say all that stuff curved and then just kind of leave, you know. Once he started having to define terms, he's like, I gotta go, you know. So I don't know.
Just like Jeremy. Just like all the flat earthers.
I really enjoyed his march on Washington. He really he had the riot police out there trying to control the crowds.
It would have been nice if they had pepper sprayed him. Because that would have been funny.
I think at any given time he may have had one person to talk to.
He only had people to talk to when he was offering money.
So whatever happened to his court case?
Nothing.
So is he actually allowed to leave Florida?
Who was offering money for people to talk to them, and how?
What's it? He was offering people money to answer questions about the globe. If you could get 3 questions, you could win $100. You didn't see that?
Anyone win?
Right.
No, he asked like a 16-year-old kid and a couple of 12-year-old kids. And he asked them questions like, oh, what's the circumference? What's the radius? Of course they didn't know.
Plus, I think it was rigged. You know, even if you did give him the right answer, 93 million miles, he'd say, no, 93,602 miles.
Exactly.
This decimal placed.
Or you could just say, it's actually not a ball.
What's its homeless
Hello,
still?
Curve.
I'm still here. I'm working. Oh Lord.
Hello,
You're gonna have to give us $100, Carlos. I'm sorry.
$100 for what?
To Jem's Patreon? I don't know.
Nah.
Look, guys, you guys are right, man. The shit's getting loose, messy. But I do like to see the arguments. What's interesting to me is, like, for instance, the point that so much energy was spent on today. The red shifting
percentage
is completely irrelevant to the shape of the earth. You know what I mean? They spend so much time,
Apparently not.
both sides, arguing on
How's
which.
curved water doing today?
Leo, you gonna talk right over me, Leo? That's cool. I mean, I'll ask him if he hears me. Leo, you just trying to be funny and shit?
I think he's got you muted.
Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Let's test him out. I don't mind. Like, when people do that thing where they laugh behind your back, I just walk right up to their face and be like, hey, what's up? What? Did something happen? Huh? What are you guys laughing about?
Carry on,
Dave voice too.
You know when when they think they're fucking laughing about. You know how you do. You know how they do.
Get back to the point, brother. Come on.
Well, anyway,
I'm not your
man,
brother,
so much
guy.
energy could be spent on the actual map. That's it. Thank you for listening.
Dude,
Map of the world.
Dude, have you seen how much they've mapped? Do you have any idea? Do I have to
I'm not
post it
putting
again?
blame. No blame on anybody. Don't you know?
I'm gonna show you what they've mapped. Okay.
Yeah, the Google Earth is the biggest one, right?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what it mapped in our solar
Actually,
system.
It
And you
doesn't
look
have
at
a
the-
snake in it, does it?
No, you look at the orbits and the things that attract
No.
and visible with.
Okay.
I'm gonna show
find
you.
Yggdrasil?
I'm gonna show you.
If you haven't found the tree Yggdrasil, it's not a complete map.
The sky is a neighborhood, and yeah.
Haven't we mapped yet, Mr. Percent?
You haven't found the tree.
Oh.
Yep. Hema wanted to know where was the center of the Big Bang. Where is it? Find me a wall or the center. Either one will do. Because if you could find the wall.
What were you thinking about that giant snake there, Don?
I think it's gonna rape everyone.
That's weird.
Verbal, you show so much happiness. If I want, man, I almost didn't speak up 5 minutes ago because I was like, Verbal's talking and I might make unhappiness, but stay happy, Verbal. Whatever.
Don, check out that video before it disappears in the chat. That's just our solar system mapped objects.
Hey, that's my neighborhood.
What is that thing? Where did that data come from?
A program called
program?
Universe Sandbox.
There's too many lines, bro. I don't think there's any lines in our solar system.
I get it. So it's mapped from the best guesses of what's going on out there.
Visible
you
objects.
could just say yes to this. Come on, let's not.
Visible objects done. Fucking hell.
Yeah, visible, but not like tape measure.
Don, think about how long people have had telescopes for. How many people have been looking at shit and following shit and looking at shit. That's what Universe Sandbox has all its information from.
The fact that you think the only way that things can be fucking measured is with a tape measure. Fuck off there, Captain Rapey. Whether you have me muted or not doesn't mean you can just talk over the top of
It would be
me.
really cool other
Patrick was
stuff.
talking, man.
Oh, that's okay. He has it, but he's breaking rules also.
About the Universe Sandbox thing.
So you can turn me down, but that doesn't exclude you from the rules that you have to follow also there.
Does
Captain
anybody
Rapey.
else get like a stuttering retard trying to come up to the big boy conversation?
Come on, guys. Let's not be
Hey,
childish.
you were quiet for a minute.
Way to elevate the conversation, Don.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you
Don,
you think that the only way something can be measured is if you lay a tape measure on it. But
Patrick,
that's not
I think
true.
you want to get
That's
anally
your
raped.
problem.
I think you want to get raped
That's a
in your
you
anus with
problem.
penises. I think that's what you want, and you're mad that there's not a penis in your ass right now. So you.
Nasty. Guys,
that got uncomfortable real quick.
Thank Patrick, guys.
No,
You
no,
know
because
who's to
Percentage
blame.
wants you to be courting him, Don.
Oh,
not Patrick.
Percent has been knocking it out the past few days. I mean, just like
What he's been
standing
knuckling one
strong
out.
with
What?
the truth, man. Standing strong, y'all.
The
Get any
truth.
appeal to
He
possibility
hasn't.
makes y'all shit your pants.
Don, you're funny.
Hey,
So
Don, can I accurately measure how far the distance to Walmart by driving there, or do I need a tape
Leo,
measure?
that's not funny.
Well, stop. That's yeah.
When I drive anywhere, I
whether
tie
you
a
can-
string to one area and drive.
Whether you can or not, the fact that he thinks that that's the only valid way that you can get from point A to point B or measure point A to point B is with laying a tape measure. He apparently hasn't done anything in reality ever. And the best that he's got is to attempt to make of a stutter something that I can't control. But he can control where where he wants to put his penis.
He muted himself.
Can we stop being so gay?
Well, you get jealous.
I second that notion.
What about Percentage being gay?
No, just stop being so gay.
Well, hey.
I third.
Just because we're part of the jumble alphabet doesn't mean shit.
Holla holla.
Sheeple, did you wake up on the wrong side of the dairy today?
I just think we've really degraded our conversation down into hit throwing, you know. So
Dude,
can we
dude,
just get back to arguing like
me.
adults? But you're not part. You didn't do that.
Arguing like adults. When was that then?
Bizarre.
Well,
You be quiet, child.
Yes, Dad.
Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm staying out of it. Fuck it.
Oh. Now I've got this slight problem at the moment, and it's all over everything. All social media, through the news, fucking everywhere. The entire planet's turned into a giant fucking pussy.
No,
Pretty robust. You see a baby come out of, you realize that pussies are very robust.
Well,
That's
not
process that information, eh?
They could take
well,
a fucking pounding.
That's not the sort of pussy I'm talking about. If it was, I'd be out there fucking it.
A better derogatory term is they turned into a bunch of bitches. There's nothing robust about a bitch.
Well,
There's nothing resilient about bitches.
Ask a pimp.
Isn't Davros a
As
pimp?
Rick James.
Aren't you a pimp,
Yeah.
Davros?
Was a pimp.
Okay, well, there we go. Close enough. Damn, the server's
Bitches
got
get
everything.
paid. I get paid. We all get paid. Thanks, bitches. See
First
how
you
that
get
works?
paid. First you get laid.
That yes, you know, I'm hearing all these. My entitlement means I shouldn't have to get the vaccine. Okay, cool. You want to die from a fucking cold or a flu or whatever? Cool. Don't put on the condom. Don't put on the seatbelt. Don't. Your choice. If you don't like it, don't tell me.
What condom are you putting on?
Okay, so VD, you put on a condom or you take other precautions so as you don't get pregnant. You put on a seatbelt so you've got a little bit more success of surviving a car crash, right? You put on a helmet so you don't hurt yourself falling off a bike, right? Vaccine's the same thing.
You realize that, like, there's tens of thousands of tickets a year for people that don't wear seatbelts or helmets.
Exactly.
Doesn't Bon Jovi get a ticket if he's not wearing his helmet at all times?
Nah, he just drools more.
That's why they got the chin strap on there. That big white foam piece. Talking in a group chat right now for like all the groomsmen for this wedding coming up in a bit into next year. They're talking about this and that, getting the shot or getting both. The one guy's like, I got both and it's fuck because I still can't do anything. Well. I should have took the perimeter. Fuck.
You need to put an Antarctic continent around that. That's where we should send them.
Oh, actually, quite interesting. Was watching TikTok yesterday, and I saw this Canadian doing a little TikTok, and guess who happened to pop up in that TikTok? Wits it, gets it.
What was the TikTok?
Okay, so basically, Wits it.
You got out.
Yeah, you said basically wits it, and that was it.
Well, basically, Wits it. Now he starts quoting all the 666 miles shit, and the guy goes, "But I use metric. It don't work."
Oh shit! Yeah. Gypsy posted this guy yesterday. It's so funny. I'm gonna watch it again now.
Oh, that video of the flat Earth debunking guy.
Yeah, it's fucking good. I'm gonna watch it again. Tell me this, bitch.
If oranges fell off the tree sideways, they'd hit you in the fucking face. Oh my god.
We got a smart one here.
The stretch that they have to go to with numerology to attempt to make this whole 666 shit fucking actually work, like, it's not 666 if there is like 17 other numbers and that follow right behind it, whether the universe is, or the Earth's going around the sun at 666,000 whatever fucking miles an hour. You don't just stop there because and dismiss all of the other numbers. So it's not what they make it out to be. Stretch is just fucking retarded.
Yeah, Patrick, but this is the one. They always take the degrees away from 90 when it's actually from 0.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because not one of them have ever fucking measured, anything on a protractor ever.
What? They don't take it away from 90.
Yes, they do. To the 23.4 degree fucking tilt of the Earth. Yes, to make it 666, you have to subtract it from 90.
To 90. They add them both together.
No, they don't.
Okay,
guys. 90 plus 24 or 23.4 isn't fucking 666. You goddamn basic retard.
Joby, don't they add 23.4 and 666 to make 90? Isn't that what they do?
I'm not a representative. I'm not sure what they do.
To get 666, their numerology, they subtract 23.4 from 90.
Joby, you ever seen the Masons thing where they're all about like the compass and the
yeah, I know about that.
So they're right. So they're all about like, you know what I mean, like bit G, right? The zenith angle, right? Like it's perpendicular to the ground, right? So that's 90 degrees. So then they're going.
No, that's actually zero. It's actually zero.
What could they add?
When measuring the Earth and where the pole, the geographic north and south pole, that is 0. That is not 90. Just because you think it's 90 from your individual perspective doesn't make it. So when the Earth is tilted to 23.4 degrees, it is from 0. It is not from 90. You learn this. You should have learned this in elementary school.
What's the thing with
Junior
like
high
adding
at the
90?
latest.
Why are they adding 90 to it? What's going on?
I don't know. That's what he said. They added. He said they take 23.4 and add 90 to it.
I think he means take away from 90.
Well, that's what we said. But he jumped in and corrected us and said that they add 90 to it.
Say what?
He doubled down on it. He didn't say it once like it was a misspeak. He doubled down on it.
113.5. 4. Okay. Don, explain yourself.
No, I'm
He's different.
now I'm pretty sure numerology is a real thing, but I don't think there's like some cryptic stuff with the shape of the Earth.
Well, that's fine. And how is it? Why do you think like numerology is like a what makes it real? Like finding. You can add and subtract all you want. You can add and subtract all you want to make specific, numbers, common numbers. I mean, we have a finite number of, numbers that we use from 0 to 9.
Yeah, but the thing is,
there's not a finite number of numbers.
From 0 to 9, yeah.
Yes.
You can use any
There's not a
combination.
finite number of numbers between 0 and 9.
Oh my God! Really? Are we going to go to this? 0.0001? Like,
yeah, they're still made up of 0 to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no more numbers. I think that's what.
That's all.
And not to be.
Well, yeah, and you can use them in
is
a multitude of combinations.
Rocket, yeah.
You don't get 66.6 because the Earth's tilt is 23.4365. That gives you 60. If you take that from 90, you get 66.5635.
But Rocket.
That's right. But if you just want to ignore all that and round it up.
Yeah, sorry. Hang on. What about when it goes back to 23 degrees? Anyone think about that fucking shit?
Listen.
Oh.
The answer is obviously not.
I hate to be pedantic, but when everybody talks about degrees inside. If you're coding this stuff, you don't work in degrees. You work in radians. You may enter it in degrees, convert it, and you will convert it to radian. You do all your calculations in a radian. You never do it in degrees.
Right, but if you're a Christian apologetic that's into numerology and fucking Satan worship and what everybody else is doing, then you work in degrees.
Rocket.
Yeah.
When I'm doing a measurement on two-dimensional object, I use degrees.
Degrees these nuts?
That's because you're a flat earther.
No, because that's how stupid they are. Thanks, C4.
You shouldn't call people stupid. Dumbass.
Well, if they're stupid, what am I supposed to call them, idiot?
You're supposed to call them
misinformed.
What? I've got to call them Joby.
Challenged.
You're supposed to say you tried.
No, that's called doing Sudoku.
That's witchcraft.
Why would they do the puzzles with the numbers?
Because they're not mentally challenged like you are.
Actually, I'm the smartest guy here.
Really?
Okay,
you hide it
Joby,
so well.
say something intelligent.
Well, he just did. He's the smartest guy here. Duh.
1 + 1 equals 2.
Is 11.
So real quick, I forget the explanation in like numerology and stuff, or the reason for like the common reason things are easily converted down to like 13 or 33 or something like that. Doesn't it have to do with the number of numbers that can be divided or multiplied into it?
You add up the numbers from 0 to 9 and divide it by 10. That's how they work it. It's fucking bizarre.
Right. No, but I just saw I heard somewhere like a very reasonable explanation. It's like the amount of numbers that can be derived from it or into it to get 33 or 30 or whatever number just about any number you really just want to find.
Whatever number you put significance on, you'll find lots of them.
Right.
There's meanings to certain numbers, but
Well, duh,
Really?
dude. I mean, 69 has the fucking best meaning ever.
Yes. But like 33 in Masonry seems to be like the third of angels that fell with Lucifer, and shit like that.
So what if we made him try to find 616? Would that fuck their whole narrative?
616 is actually said to be.
Well, it's
666.
And we're the third
Yeah,
rock
well-
from the sun. But yeah.
Well, actually, no. If
Yeah,
you
there's
go
a
back
moon.
prior to the KJV, you'll find it's 616. Thank you very much.
There's actually a moon in the way.
I know.
Yeah, you're right.
Whenever I film on my phone and I get to 616, I just delete it.
Is
We're
there a
probably
moon?
the 3 millionth. We're probably like the 3 millionth rock from the sun, depending on what you classify as a rock.
Big rock. Is there a moon around? Is there one moon? Whoa. Is there one moon around Venus
Whoa.
and Mercury?
No.
No moon.
There's a
There's
moon
no
around the
moons.
sun, though.
Have you seen
I don't
the
think there's
two
a
little
moon.
potatoes around Mars?
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to say 33, 3.3. If each one had a moon, then yeah, technically we're still the third rock with the third moon. 33, fucking whatever you want to put numbers to,
But doesn't
That's what I
that
was
change
getting
when a comet comes flying into the sun?
33 comes from the 30 angels that fell with Lucifer. There's your 33. Okay.
Oh, so we have to believe in their non-entity devil and their god. of course.
It's their belief system that we're questioning. So yeah, it probably would be good to go to their information.
Good thing we know it's real.
Well, they believe it's real. Consider the atheist a madman. In their own writings, of course.
Explain a rainbow if there is no God.
Ooh.
I'll post it again.
What?
Here it is.
Explain a color that no one's ever seen before. Where would you start?
Beautiful.
Orange.
It's bright and vibrant.
It's something like it's in between these three shades, and you identify it that way. Or you say what frequency it is.
There are a bunch of impossible colours that you have to trick yourself to see.
I mean, we only see 10%. What is it? 6% of the fucking. Not even close to that.
Half of a degree. So half of a percent.
Yeah.
They're those super color seers. Those women in Britain, 25 of them, I think, at this point, who can see an order of magnitude more colors than anyone else. So, you'll look at something and you'll identify the thing as pink. They'll show you 5 shades of pink, but it's looking exactly the same to you. And the woman, these people, can clearly identify differences between each one. And then, when you test them, they get 100% accuracy.
Because they've got tetrachroic sight. We have RGB. They have 4 sensors. They have an additional blue one or something.
All right. Can they see in the dark?
No.
They can just appreciate shades more.
Well, they can see the shades in order to appreciate them after that, but we can't even see them.
Yeah. When I got my glasses, because first time I didn't have glasses, I went to have my eyes tested, and they were like, "No, you don't need glasses." I was like, "Okay, fine. I feel like I need glasses." And then a few years later, I went back to get them, and they're like, "Oh, you need glasses. You should have had glasses years ago." I'm like, "Oh, fucking hell!" So I got them, and yeah, colors became very, very vibrant, and very, very nice to look at. That's my story.
You could finally see the curve.
Saturation.
Sorry, percent.
You say glasses increased saturation of the colors.
Yeah, like the depth of the color. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get certain ones that help see color and all that. I'm wearing fucking rose gold or rose fucking Ray-Bans, whatever the fuck they're.
Right. So now to explain the factor of glasses increasing color palette. It's the fact that it's not landing on the cones properly, and that's why you have the trouble discerning colors.
That's why they know I need glasses, because I had astigmatism, and the guy I first went to couldn't test for that, or didn't realize.
What? He couldn't test that you had footballs for eyes?
Yeah, he was like, "What?" Yeah.
So you're a round eye.
Round eye. But But yeah, like one eye grew out faster than the other one.
Man, you know it was racist, but like it wasn't back in the day. Like I guess it was, but like when we were kids, I'm 30, so when we were younger, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these. Oh, you see any kids still doing that? Probably not.
No singing,
man.
Singing.
That's not singing. That's poetry.
Poetry is just singing without music.
Oh, kinda.
No singing.
It is.
What kind of poetry?
That's where they got sonnets
We get a ruling from Scott Veach. Poetry is singing, yes or no?
Yeah, that little
Logan poetry.
That little rhyme. That was just how you little perverted fucking kids tried to get girls to flash you. Right? There was nothing racist about it.
There was racist about it. You would make your eyes go up and down when you did the first part. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, Z, you all know what I'm talking about.
Up, down, turn around, pull your bottoms down.
Milk, lemonade, around the corner fudge is made. Holy shit, that's another fucking old one.
Yeah, but you don't want to go milk, whipped cream, fudge.
Oh. Fucking gross, man.
Yeah, but you thought about it too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Plunging back into darkness.
What?
That's what she said.
You felt my pain, Sheeple.
You want to have another
go in the dirt pipe.
Want another decent question? What's the speed of shade?
It's actually faster than light. Woo!
Is it?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You seen the video? Because like I seen the video, I was gonna watch it, but I didn't watch it. So shade is faster than the speed of light.
He gives a very good explanation for it.
Yeah, that's
the fact that your shadow moves. If your shadow can move at the same time as you move your fingers, that's faster than light.
Huh.
Who is fast as that?
Oh, shut up, Beach. Can't even hear you.
It really can't. Think about it. It has to be, trailing a little bit.
No, you're talking about the speed at which a shadow can propagate across a surface. That can be faster than the speed of light.
No, it can't.
Because it's
same as
because it's the absence of light, you twat.
Not the example you gave, Davros, doesn't work though. You can't. The shadow on the wall doesn't move faster or the same speed as your hand. Now you can have a shadow propagate faster if it's like angled right. Like if, for example, if a shadow's growing fast because it's getting elongated because the sun is setting, that could maybe grow fast. Zoom out in distance-wise faster than speed of light. But your hand, there's gonna be a delay between the light that was striking the wall before and your hand moves.
But we're not talking about the light. We're talking about the absence of light.
I know, but the
Scott.
absence of light has to replace the light that was shining there. So, light
No,
shining.
you don't.
The absence of light is made by the surrounding light. Like the
No,
shadow.
you're actually wrong. You're actually wrong.
Okay, but you have light shining on a wall. You move your hand into the light to create the shadow, right? As you move your hand into what?
No.
He's
What
just
if it's
setting up
reflected
the-
light?
He's setting up the
What
premise.
if it's
How's that wrong?
reflected, Scott? That changes your whole premise now.
Well, you forget the speed of dark can be a lot faster, right?
Why does that change anything?
Exactly. Go look it up, Scott. You'll find that darkness is faster than light.
You interrupted to say some nonsense about reflection, and now you're saying go look it up.
So would you say the speed of a shadow or speed of shade is infinite?
No.
No.
I would say it doesn't have
that I'm
speed.
making, Davros, is when you move your hand into the light to create that shadow. You're blocking the light when you do that, but that does not instantly.
So what you're saying? You're saying the shadow's not there?
The speed of dark.
I'm about to get to the sentence and you'll hear what I'm saying, Davros. You move your hand into the light to create the shadow, okay? When your hand blocks the light, it doesn't make the light that is existing between your hand and the wall instantly disappear. It still travels from your hand to the wall. So the wall is still being illuminated from that light that you blocked because there's still light on the other side of your hand. You know what I'm saying? So it has to all reach the wall. And when it reaches the wall,
It's not the light that's moving, Scott.
I got a test.
It doesn't matter. I don't understand what you don't understand, Davros. I'm telling you why it is that the shadow on the wall is going to be delayed compared to your hand.
I got a test.
The shadow on the wall is never going to go faster than the speed of light, okay? You can't move your hand fast enough to do
Fuck
that.
a hand shadow on the wall. Take a gun. Take a high-powered fucking fast shooting gun. Slow-mo camera. Shoot that thing fucking right next to the ground, right on a sunny day, or over light, whatever you want to pick for a light source, and see what travels faster, the bullet or the shadow.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Based on common sense logic about what light is and what your hand's doing, the shadow will not be at the same speed as your hand. It'll be slightly delayed. As you move your hand to the light.
The Vsauce example is, let's say you were on the Earth and you had a light that was so powerful you could light up the whole moon and make shadow puppets on the moon. If you could move something in front of that light at the speed of light, it would traverse in that same time you move across the light a much greater distance on the moon, thereby going faster than the speed of quote-unquote light.
Yeah, that's
It's not analogous to your shadow on the wall example, Davros.
Oh damn!
Call a ambulance.
That's like also like if the shadow is spreading out, basically you're getting you move something at the speed of light. Well, you're getting a much larger shadow moving at the speed of light, so you're getting that moving. Yeah, basically.
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
Thank
the
you,
power turned
Doofus.
off, but it's back on.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Doofus.
That's what you get for living in a third world country.
Welcome.
We have a generator, 30 kilowatt generator.
30 kilowatts. It's not the power of a small city.
No, it's not. Maybe 30 megawatts. 30 gigawatts.
Gigawatts.
It's jiggity watts. Right?
Gigawatts.
Or giggity watts. If
Gigawatts. I use the Dr. Brown pronunciation.
But did everyone just get quiet?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure I didn't disconnect.
It's okay. You're just paranoid.
No, I just pissed everybody off. My job here is done.
I gotta say something.
Say it.
Don't spray it.
Fuck it, spray it.
That's what she said.
I was riding my bike, and a guy came over, and I almost bought some drugs.
Nice.
I didn't have any money on me though.
No, you didn't have any sand dollars? I would have just packed some sand, made a sand dollar, and gave it to the guy.
You hate the
He
Bahamas.
didn't give you a sample?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with anyone out there, to be honest.
That's an American thing.
What kind of drogas?
I don't know. Probably marijuana.
That doesn't even count as a drug anymore.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Vanilla.
Why doesn't it count?
Because
fucking legal everywhere.
Okay, so
And the
it's like morphine.
The only reason it was illegal back in the day is because it had so many health benefits, and they just didn't understand it at first, and this and that, blah blah blah. The fucking way they tested where they killed brain cells is they put gas masks on 3 fucking monkeys and pumped them full of fucking weed smoke. No oxygen, nothing else. And they're like, oh yeah, they lost some brain cells. No fucking shit. You suffocated them for a fucking half an hour. Yeah. You never heard about that one? Yeah, they put gas masks on fucking monkeys.
Some dirty stuff,
It was
man.
made illegal because the cotton plantation and textile manufacturing tycoon, whatever his name is, like basically
John.
used. Yeah, I don't know what his name is, but basically he used his connections and some like
That's why
lobbyists
you
and stuff
can't
like that,
trust these
and some
institutions,
marketing to
man.
make it seem like it was bad and get it illegal.
They're all corrupt.
'Cause he
That's
was
why
worried
you don't
about
trust institutions. Peer review, medicine, education, they're all just corrupt.
What was the guy's name? John what?
No, his name's not John.
Don't tease me like that. Anyways, he was worried about the competition of hemp.
Like I say, trust but verify.
You gonna rage quit again, Lemon?
After doing my plug-in for natural cancer remedies like bitter apricot seeds and other things brutally suppressed by the corrupt medical pharmaceutical lobby.
Dr. Subby, rest in peace.
Baking soda also helps. What else is there?
Vinegar's nice.
Tea.
Water?
Essiac tea. It's a mix of 8 different herbs. Sheep sorrel, bloodroot, slippery elm that fight cancer.
Apricots.
Wolf's Bane, Eye of Newt.
Oh no, you're thinking of vaccines, my friend. Vaccines, that concoction. Along with aborted fetal stem cells, aluminum, mercury, formaldehyde.
Oh, you mean the shit they don't put in vaccine? You mean the shit they don't put in most vaccines now?
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Well, except for the fetal cells.
They still.
Who the fuck?
Yeah. Hang on. So name me all the vaccines that have that fetal cell in it.
Everyone, especially Moderna.
Well, that's funny because the COVID-19 vaccines don't have any of that. That's quite interesting, you dumb fuck.
Well, the COVID-19 vaccines are just salt and water.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The death jab causes blood clots and stuff. That's the main thing about the death
Blood
jab.
clot.
That's cool. I want to get mine in about 3 hours.
Hey, you guys want to hear some real shit? You want to hear some real shit? I just paved driveways, right? And I paved 2 funeral homes. So I was chatting with the funeral guy, all that stuff. He deals with all the funerals and all that shit. Especially in the town, he was the only one. Same with the other town. I asked him. I said, "Hey, not to offend anyone or anything, whatever. And he smirked. I'm like, has your business gone up during this COVID? And he looked at me, he's like, I know what you're asking, and no, my business has not gone up. Around here, it's 8 people and 1,000 for a year, some shit like that, or whatever. He said our numbers stayed the exact same throughout this entire fucking thing. Both
there you go.
fucking
Nobody
funeral
dies of
homes.
COVID.
COVID debunked.
Both funeral homes. Bam. From the fucking horse's mouth.
Yeah, you know why? You know why they weren't? You know why they weren't allowed to bury him?
Why?
Because they'd be zombies.
Well, according to the conspiracists, they would be.
Oh, fuck off.
That's actually where you were going with it? Oh, wow.
Well, oh, hang on. I take the opposing view. Now the conspiracists are going, fuck off.
Lord.
Hey, Lemon, I did some looking into that claim that you made about the blood clots. I don't want to talk about this in the open server. Would you like to step into another room we could talk about it?
We sure can. I'll follow you.
I'm so driving down there.
Wagwan, join me in the garden and talk about the blood clot.
I'm driving. Eating cheeseburgers. Anyone drag me? Hello?
Yeah, we all hear you.
What up, Joey?
I took my 10-mile bike ride today.
Around the island twice? What's the circumference of that island?
The circumference? It's a weird question. I mean, it's around like 100 miles across, I think. Or maybe 50. Something like that. 50 or 100. I mean,
Yeah, I'm definitely fucking coming there, Nasu, in the winter.
it's 130 miles long, Abaco.
I think Canada just came out stating there will be the vaccine fucking passport.
So,
No.
when are they trying
And
to
new health card.
Oh, you're getting it, huh?
Oh, hell
Nope.
no.
Thank God.
I'll find any way around. If I gotta fucking pay for a private jet, fucking will.
Eventually, I'm probably gonna get it. If I have to, like, if they make it so I can't, like, go over there without it.
I like how Gypsy goes, I'll get a private. But where are you going to go?
Bahamas. Nassau.
Oh, you mean
Atlantis.
all the other places that are going to have vaccine passport check-ins?
Dude, 2 years ago, you guys were saying, oh no, vaccine passports, this is a conspiracy. Look at this.
What? None of us said that.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone said it. Everyone said, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. They're not going to do that.
What?
And look
What?
what
You
happened.
have to get hepatitis shots to go to fucking Thailand, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but you don't get a
yeah.
passport for it.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
It has to be noted on your fucking passport.
That's not a vaccine passport.
Well, we weren't mandatory, but it said it's like advised, so I got it.
No, from my country, if you do not get your hepatitis shots before going to Thailand, you don't get
Your
on the
country
plane.
doesn't count.
Holy.
Says the American.
I'm not American.
Oh, so you're
America is the most important country in the world, by the way.
Well, you're dumb.
Name a more important country than America.
No, instead of arguing with Americans like that, just agree with them. You think that. You think that.
more important country than America. Why is it that America is spreading their warplanes across the South China Sea?
Because they voted Democrat in?
So who's more important at the moment, the US or China?
Maybe China. I didn't consider China.
Yeah. Think about it.